high school football on your home for local high school sports. 99 The Wave. Along with Mitch Williams, I'm John Molenko coming to you from Spartan Stadium in Grundy Center tonight. It's the season opener. The wait is finally over, and the high school football season is here. Tonight, two local rivals will square off in a non-district battle, a game that'll be used as a great way to start the season and just see where teams are at. But Mitch, the high school football season is finally here. Defending three-time state champion Grundy Center playing host to Aplington-Parkersburg, and what an electric night this should be. There's nothing quite like a season opener.
I was going to say, and it's nice to see area teams play each other regardless of class. Now they're both in Class 1A now, but just a few years ago it was 1A versus A. So it's nice to see the area rivalry, so to say. They're in similar conferences and other sports. So going to be an interesting thing to see with Grundy Center carrying a 39-game winning streak.
Yeah, back-to-back-to-back state championships in A, then two in Class 1A. Well, a new era of Falcon football is here with the arrival of Jeff Pickna as the head coach, and he's attempted to bring a new sense of urgency and pride back to this program, and he has always hung his hat on coaching a physical brand of football from his time at BCLUW up to now at Aplington-Parkersburg. But, Mitch, a lot of question marks about the team as far as what they're going to look like. There's going to be some changes in some of the offensive and defensive schematics. Coach Pickna is kind of keeping that a little bit of a secret, but the good news for the Falcons is that they got a decent amount of returning talent, especially in the skill positions, so in a much better spot coming into this season than maybe they were last season.
And not only in the skill position, you do have a quarterback back that started pretty much every game last year, and that always helps too, whether on a high school or collegiate level. So that's something to build around, and like you said, they've tried to change offenses a little bit throughout the last couple of years, just try to get something going. It's hard to kind of do on the fly in the middle of the season, so the big thing for them is, we'll work early on so you don't have to switch some, week 5, week 6.
Well, and what can you say about Grundy Center? Again, reigning three-time state champions, as you said, 39 straight wins. Most of those wins in that streak have been in pretty dominant fashion, and it's a team that's got a fair mix of returning talent and newcomers. But, Mitch, anytime you have Judd Jarowski on the field, whether it's at quarterback on offense or at defensive back, you've got a chance to win the game. Reigning Class 1A all-state team captain. He's a guy that is going to be a crucial X-factor for Grundy Center, not only in this game, obviously the entire season, and the Spartans are one of the favorites, again, to take home yet another state championship this year. And it all starts with Jarowski. We talked about returning quarterback, so it seems like Jarowski's been starting for 4 years. That's how long we've been saying his name, and you talk about bringing back over 2,700 yards of offense, 25 touchdowns through the air, just one interception, very accurate, over 70% of his passes complete, and he helps with that experience back there because, like you said, a good mix of newcomers and obviously veterans coming back. Another interesting spot, though, for Grundy Center, how do you replace Tiernan Vokes? He was big on the defensive end. He caused a lot of pressure. He had 6.5 tackles for loss last year. Combine that with what he did offensively, he was their leading receiver, so you don't maybe replace him, you just kind of reload and go from there like they've done the last few years. And he'll be making his UNI Panther debut tomorrow when they host Butler at 1 o'clock p.m. on 99 The Wave. We'll see if he plays or not, but a guy that has Division I talent, no less, that they'll have to make up for in that tight end / wide receiver position. Grundy Center has won 2 straight in this series, including 43-7 last year at Ed Thomas Field and 31-7 here 2 years ago. So they'll look to win their 3rd straight in the series. In fact, before they won that that game 2 years back, they had never beaten Aplington-Parkersburg in program history. So AP still by far and away has the series lead, but Grundy Center the upper hand as of late. A lot to get to on tonight's pregame show, including the Radio Iowa scouting report and interviews with both head coaches. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from Todd Kim at Radio Iowa on 99 The Wave.
From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report, an in-depth look at this week's prep and college games. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
After a big win overseas, the Cyclones host South Dakota. The Hawkeyes host Albany, and a new era begins at UNI. And 5A powers collide to open the high school season. That and more on a season-opening Scouting Report.
Okay, gotta be late. Gotta go. Where'd I put... wallet. Check. And... phone. Check. Keys. Check. Lunch. Check.
Checking for the things you need doesn't take long. But what about checking for your safety? Right now, 1 in every 5 vehicles on the road has an open safety recall. But it only takes seconds to check for open recalls on your car at checktoprotect.org. All you need is your vehicle identification number or license plate number. Your automaker may not have the right information to notify you about recalls by mail, especially if you recently moved or drive an older or used car. Checktoprotect.org is the quick, easy way to find out if your vehicle has an open safety recall and find the closest dealer who can make the repair for free.
Laptop. Check.
Before you go, take a minute. Visit checktoprotect.org. Check to Protect is a program of the National Safety Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
After a season-opening win in Ireland against Big 12 rival Kansas State, Iowa State has now shifted focus to its home opener as the 22nd-ranked Cyclones play South Dakota. ISU will go up against a familiar face. Coyote quarterback Aiden Bauman began his college career at ISU. Cyclone coach Matt Campbell says with Bauman at the helm, the Coyotes have big-time potential again.
We know what this South Dakota team is. On top of that, he's been coupled with, he's given that team belief and confidence. And, you're going to get a team that's physical, a team that knows how to win football games, and a team that's going to come in here with, every opportunity to go win the football game.
This will be the head coaching debut for South Dakota's Travis Johansson. He says Bauman is focused on the big picture.
Naturally, I'm sure as a competitor that's in his head, I get a chance to go do this back where I started. But I know why he came back, and it wasn't to play Iowa State. It was to take this team a step further than he was able to a year ago, and I think that's the motivation. That is maybe more of a cherry on top to do that on the part of a longer journey.
It's a 2:30 kickoff in Jack Trice Stadium. It'll be televised by Fox. Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz says the key in any opener is limiting mistakes. The Hawkeyes play host to the University of Albany.
It just gets really down to, solid execution, solid focus, and like all first games, just like bowl games at the end of the season, penalties, miscues, ball security, special teams. You don't want those things to be things that are going to, put a hole in your boat, that type of deal.
Iowa's run game made progress last season, and now the pass game needs to follow. South Dakota State transfer Mark Gronowski hopes to be the answer for a program that has been plagued by injuries and subpar play at quarterback.
Throughout the entire fall camp, we continue to go against our own team, go against them, and our defense runs a defense that's kind of different than a lot of teams. So it's been kind of fun to actually go back to maybe a base quarters team that UAlbany runs, and it's been fun to just try and, navigate that side of things and kind of go against a defense that's a little bit different. But, we just got to continue to have those meetings, understand the defenses that we're going to be playing against, and especially this week, it's just going to be a lot of fun this first game.
It's a 5:20 kickoff in Kinnick Stadium. Fox Sports 1 has the coverage. UNI coach Todd Stepsis will go up against a familiar foe when he debuts as Panther coach against Butler. The Bulldogs were a Pioneer Football League rival of his former school, Drake, and finished last season with a record of 9-3.
We're going to be playing a team with a bunch of guys that really love football. They're going to work their tails off. They're going to come into here very hungry. They're going to look forward to the big crowd and the enthusiasm, and they're going to try to feed off of that.
UNI will be looking to bounce back from last season's 3-9 record. Butler knocked off Missouri Valley Football Conference member Murray State a year ago. Up next, high school football on the Scouting Report.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Two of the state's most successful programs collide to open the high school season when 5A top-ranked West Des Moines Valley takes on third-ranked Dowling Catholic. These rivals have combined to win 15 state titles. Valley coach Gary Swenson had to replace a talented group of seniors and hopes the new starters can step up.
Well, I think every coach would like to be able to see a game that's played with a minimum amount of foolish penalties, turnovers, penalties, things that hurt your team.
Dowling coach Tom Wilson says a lot of questions will be answered tonight.
Oh, you just hope you can execute a little bit, especially playing a team like Valley. There's not a lot of room for error, so we're going to have to do a great job in our execution of really in all three phases and minimize mistakes, which you worry about that, especially at this time of year.
There are two other rated matchups in 5A. Fourth-ranked Waukee Northwest is at number 6 Ankeny. Fifth-ranked Iowa City Liberty hosts number 8 Cedar Falls. Also, second-ranked and four-time defending state champion Southeast Polk hosts Ankeny Centennial. Two other longtime rivals meet tonight in Marshalltown. Brandon Lewis has a preview.
Just 40 miles separate Ames and Marshalltown for the Highway 30 rivalry tonight. A year ago, the Marshalltown Bobcats sputtered in their new Flexbone offense, going just 2-7, but won the final 2 out of 3 games of the season, including their biggest win of the season against their rival Ames in week number 7. For the Little Cyclones, the offseason has been nothing but change, hiring their third new head coach in as many years, Jesse Von Barron. Starting quarterback Cam Cantonwide is now at Gilbert. Future Iowa State wide receiver Jeffrey Roberts left for Dowling, including a tight end and a punter gone from last year. Marshalltown head football coach Adam Goodvin says despite all of the changes with Ames, they still have to just worry about themselves.
We've got to be physical, and we've really got to limit our mistakes. In high school football, week 1, it really is going to be the difference maker.
Marshalltown defeated Ames last year, 26-21, but Ames leads the all-time series, 71-35, and one tie. Brandon Lewis, KFJB TV.
Moving to 8-player, where second-ranked Iowa Valley hosts 6th-ranked Don Bosco. Iowa Valley got an early start to the season last week with a 45-9 win over Springville. Coach Casey Kroll says this game will be a good measuring stick.
We won a game early in the year that, we can find out a lot about ourselves. So I felt like, getting Don Bosco on the schedule would allow us to do that because they're a really good team. And, I think we have the chance to be in a really good team. It's hard to tell kind of where we're at. So we wanted to make sure, we went out and got a challenging game early. So, we can, be better for the end of the year.
Also an 8-player tonight, it's 8th-ranked Lennox hosting number 9 Woodbine, Class A. It's 4th-ranked Oakland Riverside playing host to 1A, 7th-ranked Trainer. Top-ranked West Hancock hosts Garner Hayfield Ventura, while number 2 St. Ansgar is on the road at South Hamilton. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not only a star in athletics, but also a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. Adeline Martins of Oakland Riverside says she's enjoyed growing up on the family farm, even though one of her earliest memories was not a good one.
I was riding with my dad. It was me and my brother, and he was in the buddy seat, so I was just stuck on the floor. And if riding in combines and tractors, there's not a lot of room. And we were going down a hill, and we hit a bump, and I smacked my head on the front windshield.
Bishop Garrigan's Ethan Marceau says his father is giving him a larger role on the family farm.
Going out and cultivating the field by myself or hauling manure by myself, running a tractor, stuff like that. Doing some bills and helping him at the computer, getting the financial stuff down. And that has really helped me as a person, grow and see what it's all about.
Benton Community's Chloe DeGroot says her favorite sport is volleyball. She and her high school teammates work with youth players.
So we were basically just teaching them and helping them with drills, and if anyone needed a partner, we would help them and just try and make them more feel more welcome to be there. So I know sometimes little kids can be scared to go to things like this.
Hudson Clark from Gladbrook-Rhinebeck is always busy. He's a 5-sport athlete who also takes part in several activities, including FFA, student council, and musical theater.
For one, it keeps me out of trouble, and for two, it's just I love being part of stuff. I love the community I'm in, so just having people around me to support me, it's the best time I can think of.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart. The rest of Week 1 is next on the Scouting Report.
Every day, farmers rise before the sun and put everything they have into a job so few can do. Their courage, resilience, and relentless work shape the legacies and future of our country. At Beck's, we're proud to stand alongside those who don't wait to see what the world will do. They act, they lead, they are the difference. Beck's honors your commitment to your land, family, and purpose. And while we can't predict what the future holds, there is one thing we can do to change it, and that's be the difference. Right now, in every decision, in every season.
At Beck's, we believe that true champions are not just made on the field, but also in the heart. The Beck's Player with Heart Scholarship celebrates high school student athletes who show dedication, teamwork, and leadership, both in sports and in their communities. We're honoring those who go above and beyond, demonstrating passion, perseverance, and a commitment to making a difference. Nominate a high school student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
There is one contest tonight that features a pair of rated teams in Class 2A. Caleb Claycamp has a preview.
According to Radio Iowa's first rankings released of the season, the number 7 ranked Cherokee Braves will travel down to Carroll to take on the number 1 ranked Kemper Catholic Knights. I spoke with first-year head coach of the Cherokee Braves, Chris Olish, on Week 1 challenges on the road down in Carroll.
Yeah, they're a talented team. We've been fortunate enough to be able to watch film on them and see kind of their roster and who they're returning, and they return a lot of talent. Luckily, we do too. Something that we've been preaching to our kids, just being as aggressive as we can and prepared for this game, and I think our boys are up to the challenge.
The Knights of Kemper Catholic come off an outstanding season last year and return a majority of their talented roster. Head coach Ryan Steinkamp and his team are looking to get this season started off right with a win.
It's going to be a fun game. Cherokee's a great team that has a lot of good players, a lot of talent. They've had a really good run here, and I expect it to be a great game.
The Knights hosting the Braves tonight in Carroll. For your Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Caleb Claycamp.
2A second-ranked Central Lyon George Little Rock is at home against 3A number 8 MOC Floyd Valley. Carson Schubert reports.
Head coach for the Lions, Curtis Eben, is hoping that his group can start fast against a Dutch team that has a good coaching staff.
For us, we're going to have to be on our toes in offense. We know that, historically they played a 4-man front and, just different looks that we got to prepare for to, going into game 1.
MOC Floyd Valley coach Grant Hegstad knows his squad will need great focus as they face the Central Lyon George Little Rock defense.
They're always physical, they're sound, and they're disciplined. They really make you earn everything. And so I think for us, we've got to make sure that we're really focused in on our execution, our consistent execution on the offensive side of the ball, because they're not going to give anything to us. We're going to have to be really good with how we do things together as a team for us to be successful on the offensive side of the ball.
Central Lyon George Little Rock has won the last 5 matchups against MOC Floyd Valley, including a 27-14 victory last season. For the Scouting Report and Sioux County Radio Sports, I'm Carson Schubert.
3A top-ranked Bishop Heelan plays host to 4A number 3 Sergeant Bluff Luton. It's second-ranked Mount Vernon at Monticello. Third-ranked Humboldt hosts Spencer. Decorah coach Mike Tungan says experience is one of the reasons they have lofty expectations. The Vikings are ranked 8th in Class 4A. They open with a non-district game at Waukon.
Well, we've got a pretty big senior class, going in that have had a lot of experience. So, our leadership has been really good. We also have pretty high expectations, and those guys do. And so when you have that combination, our practices are pretty, they're pretty serious, and the guys work hard. And so the leadership's been great.
Cedar Rapids Xavier is top-ranked in 4A and visits North Scott. Number 2 Pella hosts Ballard. Class 1A tonight, 3-time defending state champion and top-ranked Grundy Centers at home against Aplington-Parkersburg. It's number 2 West Lyon visiting Western Christian. Third-ranked Iowa City Regina is at Wilton. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Kim.
Welcome back to more pregame coverage on 99 The Wave. I'm being joined by Aplington-Parkersburg football coach Jeff Pigna as the Falcons are just about set for the season opener at Grundy Center. And, Coach, thanks for taking a little bit of time here. I'll talk about the game specifically here in a sec, but now that we're a few weeks into the season with practices and everything like that, what have been some of your biggest takeaways about this team? Maybe some of the most important things that you've learned about the team through these first few weeks as you gear up for this season opener?
Yeah, I would say the number one thing, if I could pinpoint to one thing that I've learned, is that these guys are ready to experience something, and they will pretty much do whatever they got to do to experience it. They just need lead is all. They're willing to work. They're willing to work hard. They're willing to do a lot of things people said they wouldn't do. They just need to make sure that they're ready to go, and they have been. They've been willing to learn, and they've been everything we could pretty much ask up until this point.
Yeah, so when it comes to getting ready for this season opener here against Grundy Center, when it comes to defending them, it's a team that obviously, they're coming off of three straight state championships, a fair amount of returning production on the offensive side of the ball. So what are going to be some of the big focus areas as far as defending Grundy Center's offense here in this one?
Yeah, I would say that obviously the glaring thing is, they have an amazing quarterback, probably the best quarterback in the state, maybe even potentially all classes. Just an absolutely unbelievable athlete in all sports. That's the glaring thing. But at the end of the day, we're really just trying to play our ball and try to get off on the right foot. And when I say off on the right foot, it doesn't mean results. It means are the kids portraying the things that we say week by week are important, the tangibles, the toughness, the discipline? Are they portraying that? That's really what our goal is for tomorrow, is to make sure we're getting to a spot where we're doing that no matter who the opponent is.
You bet. And then on the flip side, I know you're not giving too much away as far as, what specifically you guys are going to be running for plays and stuff like that. But when it comes to offensively, what are going to be some of the keys there to be able to put together some drives against a Grundy Center defense that, has been really stout for a long time? What are going to be the biggest things you're hoping to, establish there?
Yeah, I think the number one thing, especially, when you're starting off your season with such a good team, is not being afraid to play your ball. Not putting too much thought and too much power into the other team to control how you act and how you feel and how you play. Going out there and doing it the same way you would do it, whether it's against a scout team in practice or, however, why change your tempo, why change your momentum, why change the way you go about things? It's getting that to their head, I would say, is the biggest step to try to get over when you're going against a team like that. And same thing next week with Dyke. But it's just getting them to believe, hey, just because there's a good team on the other side of the ball doesn't mean we have to stop being us. So getting them to get to that point has probably been the biggest challenge, but they're right there.
Do you have any sort of team mottos or kind of words to live by that you've kind of established here for this season?
Yeah, the one I've carried with me since I started coaching is change, and I can go into all about what that really means. It doesn't mean change of coaches or anything. It's got a much deeper meaning, but I won't bore you with that. But I would say the number one thing I've brought that we've, as a team, have kind of embodied and is why not us? Everybody's counting those guys out. Nobody thinks these guys can. There's predictions out there that these guys can't even win a game. So it's just about why not us? Why can't we be the group that does it? And then the next one is we over me. Everything is about is what I'm doing benefit the guys on my left and right? If not, why am I doing it? And every decision you make, whether it's on the field, in the classroom, in the school, in the community, if it's not to benefit your program and the teams around you or the players around you, and they can't look at you and say, that's a Falcon football player right there, then you're not doing we over me. You're being selfish, and we do not accept that.
You bet. This is kind of along the same lines of that, but you had mentioned, things about, expectations and stuff on social media and stuff like that. How do you go about, shutting out some of that noise? What are some of the, words of advice you might be able to share about, not focusing on that stuff, not being worried about, what other people are saying about those kinds of things?
We don't shut it out at all. We embrace it.
Okay.
We see those projections. We screenshot them, we send them, we share them. We love stuff like that. We don't. That stuff, the beautiful thing about the coaching staff we have and the mentality we have, and this is why we all get along, is those things don't make us feel down about ourselves or make us think, oh, wait, maybe we're expecting too much. Those things are kind of the mentality we have, is it's us against the world. It's, nobody thinks you can do it, so why not? Why can't we do it? What's the reason we can't shock everybody? Not that it has anything to do with this, but my first year at BCO, we were supposed to go 0-9 then too. So it's, any given Friday, you never know what can happen. Predictions are predictions for a reason. But yeah, we absolutely don't shy away from that stuff. We love that stuff.
Very nice. So some motivating factors there. Last question for you here today. What are going to be when it comes down to it, what are going to be your biggest keys or your biggest X factors for this game against Grundy Center in order for things to go well here in this game?
Yeah, like I said before, it's just staying true to what we've been saying since day one. If we can be the most tough team out there, if we can be the most disciplined out there, if we can be the team that goes the longest and goes the hardest, I mean, that's however the cards fall at that point. It's however the cards fall, but that's really where our standard is. That's the way we're trying to kick this whole thing off, because at the end of the day, whether people want to think it or not, we are still the start of something new. This is our first game together, so it's really about just laying the foundation that we can build off week after week after week, year after year after year, and that really starts tomorrow.
All right, that's Aplington-Parkersburg football coach Jeff Pickna joining me here on Radio On The Go Sports. Appreciate the time as always, and best luck here against Grundy Center.
Yes, sir. We'll see you. Thank you.
All right, more pregame coverage is coming up next. Welcome back to pregame coverage on 99 The Wave. I'm being joined by Grundy Center football coach Travis Sajak as we talk about the season opener. Spartans are hosting Aplington-Parkersburg. Spartans begin the season as the three-time defending state champions. And Coach, thanks for taking some time. Before we dive into this game specifically here with AP, I just want to get your take on what some of your biggest takeaways or most important things you've learned about this team through these preseason practices as you get ready to finally put some of your work to the test in a game.
Well, similar to our conversation the last time, John, I'm happy with the approach of the kids right now. They're a hardworking, talented group, and they understand that the process is what it is, and you can't really shortcut your way to becoming a good football team. You just got to continue to work day in and day out, and that approach has been pretty good to us the last several seasons, and we're kind of continuing that mantra. The faces change a little bit, but the work ethic and as I said, the approach remains the same.
Yeah, so when it comes to Aplington-Parkersburg, a program that's kind of fallen on some tough times lately, but they do have a fair amount of returning production on offense from last year's team. So when it comes to defending that offense, what are going to be some of the biggest areas of focus defensively here this week against Aplington-Parkersburg?
It's going to kind of start out with, just kind of figuring out exactly what they want to do and who they want to be, because it's kind of a new staff for the most part. What are they going to do schematically in all three phases, and then being able to adjust in game to put your kids in the best position to be successful. But we're not trying to be overly concerned with all of that. If we spend our energies worrying about those things that we don't know, and we're not focusing on the things that we need to do to get better, and that's the basics of the sport. If we can align correctly to what they're going to do, get off blocks and tackle their kids, we feel pretty confident about how things are going to work out for us. But there's just always a level of uncertainty going into week one, especially when you're facing a team that's got a new head coach.
Yeah, certainly. And then on the flip side, on offense, you guys certainly have a fair amount of returning talent on that side of the ball as well. Everyone knows about what Judd Jarobsky can do at quarterback. Pete Lebo taking over as the starting running back here for this year as well. Talented receivers, talented O-line. Is it a thing where you're kind of going to be able to pick up where you left off to an extent from last year on offense? What are some of the things you're kind of hoping to establish on that side of the ball?
Well, that would be pretty fantastic if we could just have a continuation of how we were playing offensively in the last season. But it's a new year, new kids, and we've got some faces coming back and some really talented kids coming back. We are breaking in some new kids as well, and trying to continue to sort through those pieces and the kids that are going to contribute, and some rotations at positions and things like that. But for us, when we do possess the ball, it's just, can we extend drives? The mantra of get a first down on your drive, and good things happen after that, and it's been a tried and true formula for us. So for us, possessions are going to be at a premium. I want to try to keep the ball away from the opponent as many times as we can, and I feel good about our running back position, offensive line. Judd will make good decisions. If we take care of the football, it should be a good offensive night for us.
And with it being the season opener, are you guys doing any sort of recognition of last year's championship team or anything like that? Or is it going to be kind of more of a straightforward game night?
I think it's going to be pretty much just a straightforward game night, John. We've got a lot of cool things that have happened here in seasons past to celebrate eventually. And, it's because last year before that, it's like, when do you do that? And right now we're not quite there yet, but we're just really excited to host AP. I know there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm up there with Coach Pickna and the energy he's brought to the program. They'll travel really well. It'll be an outstanding night at Spartan Stadium.
You bet. Just a couple questions left for you. When it comes to handling some of the outside noise, the kids see the stuff on social media about, preseason watch lists, the win streak and whatnot. I know that's not necessarily things that you guys are focused on within the program, but I guess how do you kind of go about handling some of those some of that outside noise, maybe some of the best advice you can give the team when it comes to handling that kind of stuff?
We acknowledge that it's there, and then we just kind of put it in its place where it needs to go. It has no bearing on what's going to happen on Friday night. Yep, we get a lot of attention in preseason, whatever, just because of the success that we've had in years past. But none of that stuff matters. It's here and now. We need to focus on us. And I apologize, John. It's the same. I get a lot of those questions from a lot of media folks, and it's like, you hate to be cliche, but it's like it doesn't really factor into what we do and how we do it. All of the wonderful things that have happened, there's a time and place for us to acknowledge those and celebrate them. For me, I'm focused on trying to get our kids ready for week one with AP, and it's going to be a physical, tough ball game, and we're excited to compete and play hard in it.
You bet. And last question for you, as always here, what are going to be the biggest keys or X factors for you guys going into this season opener here against Aplington-Parkersburg?
Our goal is to just be better on film. When I watched the film Saturday morning, we want to be better against AP than we were in the scrimmage last week against Denver. We feel like we can be a better football team in all three phases than we were in that scrimmage. The scoreboard stuff will kind of take care of itself. I think it's going to be a game for us as a coaching staff to adapt and be able to adjust when as need be during the course of the game to put our kids in a position to be successful. And I think the team that's going to be able to handle the emotion of the week one contest the best is going to find a way to win the game. You don't want to be too high, you don't want to be too low. You got to try to maintain some sort of an even keel as you're working up towards kickoff, so you've got the energy to finish the football game.
All right, that's Grundy Center football coach Travis Zajac talking about this season opener here against Aplington-Parkersburg. Thanks for the time as always, and best luck here on Friday nights.
Thanks so much, John. I appreciate it. Go Spartans.
All right, more pregame coverages coming up next.
John Mowinkle and Mitch Williams coming to you from Spartan Stadium in Grundy Center. Aplington-Parkersburg and Grundy Center about to get rolling here in the season opener. It is week number 1. Let's go ahead and meet some of the starters. First of all, for the road team, Aplington-Parkersburg, we'll start with their offense. At quarterback is senior number 7, Benny Waller. At running back, sophomore number 0, Mason Prusner. At wingback, senior number 33, Creighton Eberhardt. Another wingback, sophomore number 32, Devin Eberhardt. At one wide receiver, it's senior number 6, Brandon Hartbarger. And the other wide receiver, senior number 14, Braden Kalkworth. On the offensive line at left tackle is senior number 72, Corbin Wyatt. At left guard, senior number 67, Gavin Allen. At center, senior number 55, EJ Vesley. Right guard, junior number 62, Mason Kopp. And at right tackle, junior number 66, Parker Mulder. Let's meet the Grundy Center offense. At quarterback, senior number 12, Judd Jarobski. At running back, it's senior number 11, Pete Lebo. At one wide receiver, senior number 3, Braden Davey. The other wide receivers are senior number 4, Eli Wegman, senior number 10, Devin Hinders, and junior number 14, Aiden Hook. On the offensive line at left tackle, senior number 76, Elliot Vokes. At left guard, junior number 65, Carter Ruth. At center, it is junior number 56, Kyle Seitz. At right guard, junior number 73, Brandon Jensen. And at right tackle is senior number 64, Ryder Slifer. Slifer is on the watch list for the
79 degrees.
IA Football, Mr. Football Award, as was Judd Jarobski. And let's meet some defensive starters. We'll start with Grundy Center this time. At one D end, it's junior number 15, Cash Combs. At the other D end, it's junior number 64, Ryder Slifer. The D tackles are junior number 65, Carter Ruth, and junior number 65, Kyle Seitz. The outside backers, senior number 5, Aiden Betts, sophomore number 14, Aiden Hook. The inside backers, senior number 11, Pete Lebo, and junior number 24, Hayden Gertis. The corners, junior number 12, Judd Jarobski, and senior number 4, Eli Wegman. Free safety is senior number 3, Braden Davey. In the AP defense, the DNs, senior number 67, Gavin Allen, and senior number 72, Corbin Wyatt. The D tackle is senior number 55, EJ Vesley, and senior number 68, Hunter McBride. For linebackers, sophomore number 0, Mason Prusner, junior number 66, Parker Mulder, junior number 12, Wes Shirk, and junior number 11, Ethan Merrill. And at corners, senior number 20, Trevin Thomas, senior number 2, Titan Barrett, and at safety, it's senior number 3, Luke Jacobson. Those are the starting lineups for both teams. And we are approaching tonight's opening kickoff. Looks like the Falcons will return to get us rolling here tonight. West Shirk back deep to return, as is Aiden Merrill. And Judd Jarobski, the kickoff specialist for Grundy Center. They will kick it from left to right as we see it. Mitch Williams, any final thoughts before we get this one rolling?
No, just excited to see what happens here. Like you said, AP trying to keep it under wraps and what they're going to do exactly offensively. And known historically for Aplington-Parkersburg, it's been 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And for so long it worked for them. I mean, you talk about state championships. So I guess we'll find out sooner than later since they get the ball first. But, you know, Grundy Center, how do you keep this momentum going with 39 straight wins? You're always going to have a target on your back now. They've had it for 3 years now.
AP went 2-7 last year. Grundy Center 13-0. A Class 1A state championship. AP was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs last year. The drum line is getting us pumped up. Student sections are on their feet. Jarobski has the right arm in the air. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line. Here's the run-up. And the ball is in the air. The 2025 football season is underway. It angles left and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And that is how we will start this 2025 football season. Aplington-Parkersburg rolling out with senior quarterback Benny Waller. Only completed about 40% of his passes last year. Mason Prusner proved to be kind of a bruiser at running back. And a couple of wingbacks, Creighton Eberhardt and Devin Eberhardt, some of the key cogs that made a lot of production last year for Aplington-Parkersburg. So they'll start at their own 20-yard line here. 1st and 10, moving from right to left as we see it from our broadcast location from west to east here at Spartan Stadium in Grundy Center. And the teams will break the huddle here as the season is finally getting underway. It's been a long off season, and here we go. So Benny Waller starts under center, offset I formation. It's going to be a QB keeper, bounces left, tumbles forward, knee was down at about the 24-yard line, gains about 4 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 6. That should give him about another yard, so a 5-yard gain. Not
Number
too bad of a
Pete
start
Lebo on the stop
the
for the
ground.
Spartans.
Pete Lebo there for the stop.
So you just saw a quick opening in the A-gap left side between left guard and center and get a quick 5 yards there. You don't usually see QB sneak on 1st and 10.
Now Waller lines up in the shotgun with an empty backfield and 3 wide receivers out to the left side and 2 to the right. And he takes it up the middle, spins, tumbles down just shy of the sticks. It'll be about 3rd down and 2. Nice gain on the ground yet again on a QB run for Benny Waller. They spread it out, and Waller took it for the second straight play.
Ryder Slifer on the stop for the
So you see him in I formation, kind of an old-fashioned style look, and now you see him spread it out.
Down
So
and 1 for the Falcons.
Trying to throw multiple things at Grundy Center. Like I said, 3rd and very manageable here for Aplington-Parkersburg.
3rd down and 1 at their own 29-yard line. Ball spotted middle of the field. Braden Kalkworth, the lone wide receiver, splits out to the left side, and 2 wide receivers out to the right with 1 in the slot. 2 men in the backfield. Waller hands off on his own play. 1st down yardage across the 30-yard line. And AP moves the sticks. That was Mason Prusner getting his first carry of the season, and AP converts here on the game's opening drive.
That's another thing, too, to keep Grundy Center off the field. I mean, that was 3 straight runs, and that's been really turning the clock, but a new set of downs, 3rd and very manageable there. And like you said, Prusner coming back after rushing for 5 touchdowns last year, leading the backfield there for the Falcons.
10:24 and ticking to go here in the first quarter. Neither team has scored. 1st and 10 Falcons back at their own 32-yard line. In the shotgun is Waller with 2 wide receivers left. Quick handoff. This is left side Prusner. Churns forward, knee down to the 36-yard line, brought down from behind. 64 Ryder Slifer, one of the key cogs of that Grundy Center defense at defensive end, there to bring him down, and that picks up 6.
With Mason Kopp doing a good job getting out of his right guard position there, going on the opposite side of the field to get a good block. AP moving the chair, moving the sticks here.
For the Falcons.
We're not moving the sticks, they'll move the ball anyway. They'll maybe eventually move the sticks.
Yeah. They'll call it a gain of 5 yards out to the 37-yard line. Ball spotted near left hash. 2nd down and 5 for the Falcons. Just matriculating downfield right now. This play is blown up right at about the line of scrimmage.
Prusner, the ball carrier.
Mason Prusner able to lunge forward after first contact.
On the tackle for
and
the
Mitch, I'll tell you what, he kind of made something out of nothing there. Gains a few yards after first contact, kept those legs moving, and fought for that yardage. Gains about 3.
Another 3rd and manageable. 3rd and about 3 here, like you said, and again, they're keeping Grundy Center on its heels a little bit. Just a couple of power plays. We saw the drive start, the QB sneak. Doesn't always happen, and something going here already for Aplington-Parkersburg.
They've kept it on the ground the entire game so far. It's 3rd down and 2. Need to get it out to the 42-yard line. Here's a handoff. Eberhardt lowers the shoulders, got the 1st down, just shy of midfield to about the 46. That was Devin Eberhardt with a carry, and the Falcons move the sticks here for the second time on the drive.
Aiden Betts on the stop for the Spartans.
Aiden Betts there to make the stop for Grundy Center, and they move the ball to the 47-yard line in their own territory. So AP has exclusively run the ball so far. 6 plays. Eberhardt gains 4 on that one on his first carry of the season. 1st and 10 Falcons just shy of midfield at their own 47-yard line. QB keeper Waller, a little hesitation on a draw play. Gets across midfield to the 47-yard line in Spartan territory. And AP is getting some good surges up front, able to move this ball downfield, and they're in Spartan territory now.
That's one thing last year for Aplington-Parkersburg. We never saw Benny Waller with a good running game, and I mean, it's just the first drive of the first game of the season, but some positive runs there. Another one there for Benny Waller.
2nd down and 4 for the Falcons. Kalkworth comes back into the huddle, getting that play call from the sideline. Brandon Hartbarger splits out wide to the right side, and Kalkworth on the left side. That's the near side. Ball spotted center of the field, right between the hash marks. 2nd down and 4 AP. And there's movement up front. Here comes our first flag of the game. And we'll see which side this is on. And for the Falcons, certainly one of the keys to the game would be to not shoot themselves in the foot. Initial indication is false start, and yeah, so that'll back them up 5 yards.
I think they got the left tackle there, Corbin Wyant, on the left side of the formation.
So that stops the clock at 7:41 to go. AP is just eating clock here in this first quarter. Nearly half of the first quarter, they've possessed the ball the entire way. So back it up, 2nd and a long 9, back across midfield to their own 48. They'll keep the clock running here again. AP's formula, at least early on, appears to be, chewing that clock, keeping the ball away from the opponent as much as possible. Kalkorf splits out to the left side, and two receivers out to the right with Eberhardt. Here's Waller on a sweep play right, gets chopped down in the backfield. Aiden Betts there to trip him up, and it'll be 3rd and long now for the Falcons after a couple third and manageables. And for AP, that false start penalty proves to be costly. And now Mitch, we'll see what kind of a play call comes out here. For the first time, AP really needs some chunk yardage now with 3rd down and 9.
And likely you're looking at the first pass of this drive because they were averaging 4.5 yards a carry prior to that. So, yeah, you're going to see Benny Waller see how his passing game has improved from last year, likely with this next play.
Now 2 wide receivers split out to the left. That's Kalkorf and Creighton Eberhardt. Devin Eberhardt out to the right side. Waller back to throw. Loads up deep. Wide open receiver, but he overthrows him. It's going to be 4th down and long coming up for the Falcons. Looking for Kalkorf on a flyer out down the left side.
And he had him. He got away kind of like that corner route going back 14, to the sideline and just overthrew him. It was a nice ball thrown by Waller, just overthrown. Now coming time. But, I mean, you talk about a 5.5-minute drive that took up just a net of 27 yards. Quite a drive there, but will be settled to punt. But, for a first-year head coach, you got to be happy for Aplington-Parkersburg. You moved the ball in the reigning state champs. That's a good first drive, I'd say.
And the Falcons come out in the punt formation. Kingston Holman was the listed punter. It's a high snap. Now the ball is bouncing back at the 20-yard line. Still bouncing. AP looking to run back and topple on it. It's still loose. Grundy Center's going to scoop it up for a touchdown. Eli Wegman, and it's 6-0 Grundy Center.
Number 4, Eli Wegman in for the Spartans.
It was a high snap. And they were just kicking the ball around. Someone was trying to recover it, and ultimately it's Eli Wegman scooping it up for the Spartan score.
A high snap, that's just never a good thing, and we were just singing the praises for AP and a special teams miscue, and you can't have miscues against Grundy Center. They make you pay, and you don't even see the offense, and like I said, Eli Wegman, one of the veterans back for this Grundy Center team, makes them pay, and just like that, Grundy Center's on the board first.
Aiden Betts out to attempt the PAT. The Falcons have some late substitutions running in from the sideline here with 6:15 to go in the first quarter. Jarofsky is the holder. Here's the snap. Spot is down. Betts' kick, end over end. It is right through, and with 6:15 to go in the first quarter, it's Grundy Center 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. .6:15 to go in the first quarter. Grundy Center 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. A high snap on a punt play by AP. The ball was kind of pooched around in the backfield. Several different players had chances to recover it. Ultimately, it was Eli Wegman scooping it up inside the 10-yard line and taking it into the house for the score. So the Spartans with a special teams play getting on the board for the first time this season. And after what started as a promising drive for the Falcons, they will get the ball again and see what they can do this time around. However, this time with a 7-0 deficit.
Hey, you talk about time possession, 6-0 essentially, but you're down 7-0. And like I said before the break, you can't do that against a veteran team like Grundy Center. Miscues, and offensively they ran the ball fairly well, was forced to punt, but they maybe had flipped the field position a little bit, but just a high snap, and there's really nothing the punter can do except to just jump on it. But a little slippery out there for being in late August.
Yeah. So here comes the kickoff from Judd Jarofsky. Got the ball placed on the tee at the 40-yard line. And again, it's Shurkin Merrill back deep to return. Here's the sidewinding kick. Angles left. Falcons will let it bounce. And it just rolls across the goal line for another touchback. And the Falcons will start again at their own 20-yard line. 6:15 to go here in the first quarter. And let's take a look at the district scoreboard in 1A District 4. That's AP's district. Columbus Catholic is at Beckman Catholic. Jessup is at Dike New Hartford. Hudson is hosting North Lynn. Sumner Fredericksburg is hosting South Winneshiek. And Union is at New Hampton. All non-district games
from the 20-yard
tonight for
line.
the first 3 weeks of the season, in fact. So 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line here for the Falcons. Now trailing 7-0 to Grundy Center. And again, Mitch, the offense was looking pretty crisp. All it took was a false start penalty to kill all momentum on that drive. And now they break the huddle here with 2 wide receivers out to the left side, Creighton, Eberhardt, and Prusner. And an empty backfield once again for Waller in the shotgun. Prusner goes in motion, fake the handoff on the jet sweep. It's Waller pushing forward, trying to gain yardage after contact, down at about the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and long coming up for the
Waller
Falcons.
on the carry.
And Mitch trying to establish that
Lebo on the stop for the
QB
Spartans.
run, really seeing what Benny can do with his feet here this year.
Yeah, and that's a 5-receiver look. We've seen him on a QB sneak to open the game in I formation. That's a 5-receiver look. Bring receiver in motion from the strong side to the weak side. See if he can get one-on-one in the box. And Grundy Center reacting in time, but still moving ahead a little bit. AP gets 3 yards on it.
2nd down, 7 at their own 23-yard line. Ball spotted just left of center with 2 running backs in the backfield. It's a QB keeper after faking the sweep. Waller lunges forward after contact.
Waller, the ball carrier.
Gets to about the 26. It'll be 3rd and about 4.
Ryder Slifer on the stop for
So
the
again, the
Spartans.
playbook is certainly open up here. We've seen them run chunk plays for good yardage. But now a 3rd and 4 situation, still deep in your own territory. This will be a big turning point in the game for the Falcons, whether they're able to convert here or not.
From the 27-yard line for the
And the
Falcons.
run game ain't out. It's 3rd and a short 4 here, so the run game ain't completely out of the question here. Now you got kind of that full diamond look, 2 fullbacks and a tailback behind the quarterback.
Waller looks back, now runs forward. He's going to be close to the line to gain, falls across,
Waller
looks to
on
have
the carry.
just got enough for the first
Brought
down.
down
It'll
by number
depend where the
15,
knee was
Cash
down.
Combs for
But the
the
line
Spartans.
judge says move the sticks, and Waller picks up 5 when he needed 4.
Kind of misdirection again, like I said, kind of a full house backfield. It's that pistol look.
First
They
down
have 2
Falcons.
essential
The ball will be
blockers
spotted
slash
at the
fullback on each
31-yard
side of the
line.
quarterback, and misdirection one way, and he kind of runs a gap left side, and nice job there by Waller again.
Wholesale substitutions for the Falcons. Both Eberhardts go over to the sideline. Kalkorf is in at wide receiver. He splits out to the left side. And Rylan Asher out to the right side of the formation. Also into the game right now is Wes Shirk lining up in the left slot. One running back in the formation to the left of Waller. He's back to throw. Line drive throw. Oh, what a snag. Down to the 36-yard line. Wes Shirk getting low
Waller's
and
pass
hauling
complete.
it in.
To number 12, Wes Shirk.
That was a nifty catch. He ran the out route over on the near sideline and is able to get solid yardage. Picks up about 6 on AP's first pass completion of the game.
2nd and 5 for the Falcons.
They'll call it 2nd and 5, actually.
On the 36-yard line.
Out to the 36.
Wes Shirk not even listed on the starters for Aplington-Parkersburg. Have a little depth there in the wide receiver room.
Oh, you got it added. Thank you very much. We'll keep up on the stats there. 2nd down and 5 Falcons at their own 36-yard line. Waller. The ball is fumbled. It's jarred free. It's going to be covered up by Gavin Allen, it appears. But now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Falcons. Another miscue offensively for AP. And now it's going to be 3rd down and almost 10. That thing was jarred free at the contact. A little bit late on the replay, but AP now, another mistake committed, is going to put him behind, almost behind the sticks. Definitely behind schedule on this set of downs.
I don't know if that was Cash Combs or Ryder Slifer coming around on the defensive end, kind of disrupting that football, but now you're looking at an obvious pass down.
Waller in the backfield with 1 running back. Straight drop back. Sets the feet. Loads up and fires deep. Down the left sideline. Looking for Shirk. Contact on the sideline, but it was a clean
Waller's pass
play.
incomplete.
And it's going to be 4th down and 10 for the
12, Wes
Falcons.
Shirk.
Shirk not
Aiden
quite able
Cook
to
on
get
the
open
coverage
that
for the
time around.
Spartans. That's going to bring up 4th down for the
And
Falcons.
AP will have 4th down. And out comes the punt formation yet again. And last time they had that high snap, which resulted in Grundy Center's scoop and score with Eli Wegman. Right now, Braden Davies back to return for Grundy Center. And he's been a dangerous return man with with a kickoff return for a touchdown in the semifinal game last year against Wilton. Kingston Holman out to punt here for the Falcons, with Davey having his toes at the 35. Now it's a low snap, and he's going to get on top of it. It's not going to matter. Grundy Center is going to take over at the AP 20-yard line. It was covered up by Grundy Center. The first punt snap was high. This time it was low. And at that point, there was nothing that the Falcons could do about it, and another turnover on 4th down. So for the first time this season, Grundy Center will have the ball on offense with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first quarter.
Man, 2 special teams miscues. I mean, again, offensively, they've been running the ball well. 1 fumble, recovered fumble. It's up a 3rd and long, which led to a punt. And yeah, just a couple of miscues here early on.
1st and 10 for Judd Jarofsky at the Spartans, on the verge of the red zone at the 20-yard line of AP. Wegman motions left. Now 3 wide receivers to the left, and Pete Lebo, the running back, on the strong side. Runs right into a wall of AP defenders. Gavin Allen trying to drag him back from the defensive line position. And we'll see what forward progress gives him. It's going to be minimal yardage. Looks like just 1 on the play.
Number 67, Gavin Allen on the stop for the Falcons.
Gavin Allen able to make the first defensive play of the game here for AP, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9 after Lebo gains 1.
Gets around Elliot Vokes on that left side of the offensive line. Nice job by defensive end Gavin Allen, disrupting that for minimal gain.
2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Grundy Center 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. 2 wide receivers out to the right side, including Hinders and Davey. And number 15, Combs, motions to the right. Jarofsky takes a snap and rolls out to the right, now looking downfield. Fires it. It's going to be intercepted by the Falcons. Down at the 10-yard line, and AP takes it away. An interception by the Falcons. Last year it took Judd Jarofsky until week 8 to throw an interception, and Brandon Hartbarger records a takeaway, a clutch defensive play by Aplington-Parkersburg. Brandon Hartbarger out at defensive back gives the Falcons some life yet again.
From the 11-yard line.
So AP will take over back at their own 11-yard line. With 1 minute and 39 seconds left here in the first quarter, the ball is spotted on the left hash and a long field to drive. Both of AP's drives so far have stalled out. Let's see what kind of adjustments they make. Full house formation with Waller out of the pistol. Quick handoff. This play is blown up after the tackle is made on the front line by Grundy Center. I believe it was Eberhardt with the carry. Oh, that was Mason Prusner with a carry number 0.
Aiden Hook on the stop for the Spartans.
And they'll call it a gain of 1 on the play, and a newcomer comes in for the Falcon lineup. Hartbarger returns after recording the interception a couple plays back. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Falcons have it to their own 12-yard line left hash. Hartbarger lines up as the wideout on the right side. Kalkworth on the near side, and Creighton Eberhardt motions across the formation to the strong side. Waller fakes the handoff on a QB sweep right.
Waller on the carry.
And again, minimal yardage, tries sliding the hips through contact.
Lebo on the stop.
Pete Lebo there to make the play. It'll be about 3rd and 4. So after that initial contact, he was able to carry some defenders and ended up being not too bad of a play after it looked to have been blown up right away.
Say 13 run plays already for Aplington-Parkersburg to just 3 pass plays. Really wanting to minimize possessions in this game and
sticking to their roots, if you will.
Yes.
Could be the last play of the first quarter here. 15 seconds left. 3rd down and 5 for the Falcons at their own 16. Full house formation. Waller hands off on a sweep right. And this play is going to be absolutely busted in the backfield. Aiden Merrill got the handoff on the sweep, and that went absolutely nowhere. So the Falcons in a punting situation, but the first quarter is going to come to a close. Interesting period, to say the least. Grundy Center 7, Aplington-Parkersburg 0 on 99 The Wave. Let's head to the second quarter at Spartan Stadium in Grundy Center. John Mowinkle, Mitch Williams with you here. Spartan 7, Aplington-Parkersburg Falcons 0, and AP faces 4th down and 7. Back at their own 15-yard line as we get rolling here in quarter number 2. Aiden Merrill got a sweep handoff to the right that was absolutely blown up, and now Holman back to punt. This was a good snap, a line drive punt, and Davey will let it bounce, and he picks it up, takes it on the right side of the field, tries cutting back, and it's slammed down just inside the 40-yard line.
Braden Davey
So the Spartans with another short field drive here on this possession. Well, Mitch, last time Grundy Center threw an interception to Brandon Hartbarger of Aplington-Parkersburg. This time the Spartans will take over at the 38-yard line of AP with the ball spotted on the right hash mark.
I was going to say 52-1 in terms of yards. The difference there, Grundy Center, or AP with the advantage, I should say. But you look at the scoreboard, it was 2 special teams miscues. But like I said, the last time Jarofsky took the field, a rare interception. You know, won all of last season. His first pass of the season, an interception.
First down and 10 for the Spartans at the 38-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg, and Davey motions from right to left across the formation. Now 2 wide receivers to the left, with Lebo lined up at halfback. Hard count up front. Jarofsky takes the snap, handoff forward. Lebo wide open hole and slung down from behind by Devin Eberhardt. Lebo is going to gain close to first down yardage. Just shy of the sticks. Nope, they are going to move the sticks. Gains about 10 yards on that play. Making it 11 yards for the first down for Grundy Center. Number 11 picks up 11.
I was going to say, we talked about replacing Tiernan Vokes on the outside on the offense anyway. What about the running back room? You know, Brody Zinkula's been running the ball for forever, and got to find a replacement for him too. So, but Pete Lebo's got the experience.
Now it's first down and 10 for the Spartans, 30 seconds into the first quarter. They've got the ball at the 26-yard line of AP on the right hash mark. Now 3 receivers to the left. Lebo gets the handoff again and gets tripped up across the 25-yard line. There was a scramble at the very end.
Lebo, the ball carrier.
And the Spartans will keep possession here, and now it'll be second down and long after
Parker
gaining
Mulder
about
on the
3.
stop
Parker Mulder with a
for the
stop.
Falcons.
Falcons will return to action next week by hosting rival Dyke New Hartford. So bang, bang, right out of the gate. Reigning 1A state champion and reigning 1A runner-up to start
the 24-yard line for the
Spartans.
Spartans.
Hayfield Ventura in week 3 as they ease up the schedule at that point a little bit before starting district play.
Say, what a first 2 games of the start of your coaching career at a new school.
Jeff Pickna taking over at Aplington-Parkersburg after a few years at BCLUW. And now Davey sprints left on the motion play. 2 wide receivers now left, 1 right. Here's Jarofsky, quick throw. Right after receiving the snap, it's going to be Wegman over on the far side on the curl route, just shy of the sticks.
To number 4, Eli Wickman.
Third down and very manageable here now for Grundy Center. They'll spot the ball down right about at the 30-yard line.
Stop for the Falcons.
Just inside the 30. In fact, we'll call it the 29. So Grundy Center
3rd and 3 from the 19-yard line
just
for the
matriculating
Spartans.
the ball down the field here, as AP kind of had been doing on their first couple of possessions. And again, eating clock. This is a quick-moving second quarter so far. First half, I should say, as a whole. We're down to 10 minutes to go till halftime. Jarofsky pitch right, finds Lebo, lowers the shoulders, aggressive run.
Lebo,
right down around the 10-yard line. And Pete Lebo with another strong run. Luke Jacobson there to make the play, making the initial contact, and it moves the sticks yet again here at 9:53 to go and ticking in the second quarter.
They got a junior, junior senior on the right side, so they got some experience there, and they kind of pushed out and created a gap there in the B gap, I should say, on the right side, and Lebo's starting to find his legs here a little bit this drive.
Falcons with 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers in the backfield as well. They spread out the formation with 2 wide receivers to the left, tight end of the formation as well. Screen pass left, finding Davey. He's got speed, turns the corner. Great block set by Aiden Hook, and that's a Spartan touchdown. Just like that, the Spartans are on the board yet again. It's 13-0 Grundy Center. 9:23 to go here in the second quarter, and the Spartans have struck yet again. And now the Falcons kind of have their backs against the wall. We'll see what they're able to do on their next possession. They've been able to move the ball at times with good effect, but each drive has stalled out in some tough ways. Here's the PHC It is up and it is good. So with 9:23 to go in the second quarter, it's Grundy Center 14, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. .23 to go here in the second quarter. It's Grundy Center 14, Aplington-Parkersburg 0. Judd Jarofsky with a touchdown pass to Braden Davey, 11 yards out on the screen. And Mitch, that was a great block set by Aiden Hook on the screen out left. And just like that, Grundy Center leads by 2 scores at 14-0.
Yeah, you mentioned Aiden Hook. It wouldn't have been done without him. He gets a good block, pushes his defender up, and that allowed Davey to kind of spin to the outside near the sideline, and nice drawn up play. And first time we've seen Grundy Center's offense really do something. Alone, it was, few possessions this game, so their second possession, I believe. So much better result than the first possession, we'll say.
Dyke New Hartford leads Jessup 14-0. At the end of the first quarter, South Hardin leads West Marshall 7-0. Tigers looking to be one of the better teams in Class 1A this year as well. Spartans will kick off from right to left. Judd Jarofsky with the arm in the air, runs up, booms it. It's a low kick. It's going to be scooped up by one of the up men of AP, and a hard hit by Eli Wegman here on the near side.
Number 3, Luke Jacobson.
And that was Luke Jacobson on the kickoff return. Not typically a guy you would expect to be returning
Number
kickoffs.
4, Eli Wegman,
but the ball just bounced that way. Caught him a little off guard probably on that low bouncing kick, as opposed to the typical deep boomer you would typically see.
When you said it was an upman that recovered, you got to recover. That's a live ball. The kickoff team can recover that, and the possession changes. So
AP with a lot more breathing room to start this possession after being pinned back at their 11-yard line on the previous drive. They'll start at their own 32-yard line on the right hash mark with 9:18 to go in the second quarter, and Grundy Center leading 14-0. And a slow approach to the line of scrimmage. Waller lines up with the pistol formation here, full house. Turnaround handoff, it's Prusner. Tries running it up the gut, minimal yardage. Great surge by the defensive line of Grundy Center. Carter Ruth was one of the Spartans in there to help finish off the tackle. Probably get credited for half the tackle, and it gains about, we'll call it 2 yards. So the Falcons on the ground so far have rushed for 49 yards. Mason Prusner with 14 of them. Benny Waller, the leading rusher, with 8 carries for 31 yards, and he's 1 for 3 passing for 5 yards. Second down and 8 Falcons to the 34-yard line in their own territory. Pistol formation once again with 2 wide receivers to each side and 1 running back behind Waller. Hard County takes a snap, looking to throw. Gets good protection, now takes off upfield at the 40-yard line, still on his feet, gets across midfield. He's got some space to run to the 40, and he's run down behind by Aiden Betts. What a run for Benny Waller all the way deep into Grundy Center territory, and that's the spark that the Falcons needed offensively.
Number 5, Aiden Betts on the stop for the Spartans.
They'll place the ball down to the 33-yard line in Spartan territory. What a run by Benny Waller.
And that's the growth from last year. Last year, he might try to force that ball. Could have been thrown in double coverage, but no, he takes off a lot of green grass in the middle of the field. And yeah, Benny Waller, very nice decision there. Like I said, some of that veteran leadership from last year.
I'll let you do the math on that yardage there. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of Grundy Center. Now Waller hands off quickly. And this play will be dead at about the 27-yard line. Devin Eberhard emerges from the pile. Just across the 30 to the
Number
29.
32, Devin Eberhard on the carry.
Gains about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up after Slifer makes the stop. 7:45 to go here in the second quarter. 33 yards on that run by Benny Waller a moment ago. Most explosive play of the game offensively for Aplington-Parkersburg. And now they have 2nd down and 7 at the 29-yard line of Grundy Center. Fresh into the game is Rylan Asher. He lines up as the wideout on the right side. Now Waller lines up under center at QB. Handoff fullback. Devin Eberhard runs into a brick wall of defenders. Still keeping the play alive, churning those legs. I'm kind of surprised they didn't rule forward progress to have been stopped. Eberhard ended up trying to bounce it outside, and we'll call it no gain. They'll spot it back at the 29-yard line. So 3rd down and 7.
I was going to say the refs did give him forward progress because he was tackled back at the 30, but nice notice by the refs where he originally was at the 29.
So 3rd down and 7. Here for the Falcons at the 29-yard line of Grundy Center. Let's see what they have dialed up on this 3rd and long play. Line to gain is the 22-yard line.
Again, you got 2 plays here. I mean, a run is not out of the question here, John.
Pistol full house formation here with Waller, and Eberhard motions left. And we got a whistle here. Illegal motion is going to be the call. Eberhard kind of hesitated after he started going in motion. And that'll back the Falcons up behind the sticks, so a costly mistake right there. It'll go from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12.
Again, it's game 1 under a new coach, under a new offensive system. They're going to have these mistakes here, but again,
probably still 4-down territory at this point.
Yeah, because you're in that gray area. Do you punt from the, plus 35?
Well, especially with how some of the punt snaps have gone tonight as well.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do, essentially.
3rd down and a short 12, we'll call it. Falcons back to the 34-yard line in Grundy Center territory. DBs are playing tight. Waller back to throw. Loads up deep. He's got a wide open receiver. It's caught. Stumbling into the end zone. That's a Falcon touchdown. It's Wes Shirk.
Waller's pass complete.
3rd down and 11. And Wes Shirk scores the first AP touchdown of the season.
Yeah, Eli Wegman was one of the defensive backs, and he just bit on something that was near the line of scrimmage, and off and running, the AP receiver gets behind it. Nice play draw. Kind of wheeled out of his offensive formation there.
So the Falcons pick up a much-needed score with a PAT pending from Cooper Mulder. And actually, they got a different guy out there now to kick the PAT. Here's the snap. Spot is down. Kick is up. A little wobbly kick, but it is good. And with 6:17 to go in the second quarter, it is Grundy Center 14, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. A 33-yard touchdown pass from Benny Waller to Wes Shirk, and the Falcons are on the board. 6:17 to go in the second quarter. Grundy Center 14, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. John Mowinkle and Mitch Williams with you here on 99 The Wave. And Mitch, a high arcing throw, and Shirk had to kind of not necessarily lay out, but he had to reach out. He kind of tumbled across the goal line, but it was enough for the score. I wondered if the knee was going to be down just shy of the goal line, but it is. He was wide open and ended up crossing the plane for the touchdown. Well, here's the kickoff. It's going to be returnable here for Grundy Center by one of the up men. Running right is number 21, Cooper Keller. And he's going to get popped down just shy of the 30.
Number 21, Cooper Keller on the return.
So all of a sudden, a little bit of a different game at this point.
Luke Jacobson
after
on the tackle
AP
for the Falcons.
Was a little bit slow out of the gate. Not typical, not really unexpected, I guess, for a season opener, taking a couple drives to get things rolling. But, man, they had that big run by Benny Waller to kind of provide that spark. And then Waller loads up for the deep ball and finds Shirk for the score.
And it was in stride. Remember earlier in the game, he missed the guy by a couple yards, just overthrown. But tonight he's thrown a nice deep ball here thus far.
6:12 to go, second quarter. Grundy Center 14, Aplington-Parkersburg 7, with two wide receivers split out left. Spartans have the ball at their own 27. Low snap, Jarofsky picks it up and rolls right. Fires downfield, he's got Devin Hinders. Out on a corner route to the right side, gets across the sticks, across the 40-yard line. Nice yardage that time around for the Spartans.
To number 10, Devin Hinders for the Spartans, and that's good enough for a Spartan first
big time
down.
Contributors last year. Definitely not as many catches last year because of Tiernan Vokes being on the team last year, certainly, but he's going to be a guy that's counted on this year. First down and 10 at the 40-yard line in their own territory, after picking up 13 yards on that catch and run by Hinders. Now 2 wide receivers split out to the left side on the near side. That's Hinders, the wide out, and Davey in the slot. Lebo lines up as the halfback, and it's a QB keeper. Jurovsky, after faking the handoff, takes off to the right, sheds a tackle, running forward, lunging to the 50-yard line, brought down by a couple Falcon defenders.
On the
One of AP's defenders whiffed, and Jurovsky was able to make him pay out to the 50-yard line, just enough to move the sticks yet again. Picks up about 11.
We've seen where Jurovsky is so dangerous, not just as a passer, but as a runner too. Does the fake on one side to Lebo and takes off left side, got some green grass, and that's that veteran leadership that he brings to this. He's played in a lot of these big games. So
beautiful weather here for this season opener as well. Temperature in the 70s, not a whole lot of wind to speak of here as well, and partly sunny skies. And Davey motions across the formation. He takes the jet sweep handoff, looks to turn the corner, looking for space down the right side. Got some room to run. A flag comes in the backfield. This looks to be coming back. A great run by Braden Davey on the jet sweep. However,
there's a flag on the play.
Looks like this one is probably coming back as the flag was thrown in the backfield. And holding is, it's defensive holding. Defensive holding against Aplington-Parkersburg. So the penalty obviously is declined at that point. You hardly ever see a defensive holding on something like that.
On a run, it was a jet sweep. I agree with you. That was unique, but nonetheless, Davey was a big run there.
From the 24-yard line.
About 26 yards to the 24-yard line of Grundy Center, or of Aplington-Parkersburg, excuse me. First down and 10 here with 5:07 and ticking to go in the second quarter. Spartans will line up Hinders as the lone wide out left. Stacked receivers out to the far side on the right side, and Davey motions once again. Another low snap, handoff Lebo up the middle, across the 20, into the red zone. And those low snaps are definitely noticeable here in this first half for Grundy Center. Jurovsky does have good hands,
Lebo,
able to scoop it up out of there, but not necessarily what you're looking for. That can throw off timing on certain plays.
Say a 6-yard gain out of a low snap, the coach will take that, but that's, again, a lot of veterans on this team. Gain of 6 there for Lebo, who is now up to 30 yards on 5 carries.
Spartans as a team have 65 rushing yards. Second down and 4, just inside the 20. QB keeper Jurovsky shuffles the feet in the backfield, drug down from behind, just shy of the 15. Looks like Devin Eberhard, one of the Falcons, into there to make the stop. It'll be third down and short for the Spartans. Line to gain is the 15-yard line. They'll place it down just shy of the 15. Actually, I take that back. It's more like the 14-yard line. Not the best angle here. Close to field level, and they break the huddle. Third down and short for Grundy Center. Need about 1.5 yards to move the sticks, and they'll spread out the formation. A new receiver into the game, Ethan Meester, out to the left side. Lebo's got the first down on the run play, stumbles through traffic.
Number 11,
West
Lebo, the ball carrier.
Pile on top of him, along with Aiden Merrill of the Falcons. So just what Grundy Center needed that time around, down to the 12-yard line in AP territory. It's first down and 10. Here with 3:20 to go in the second quarter. Spartans have a chance for possibly a 2-for-1 here because they'll get the ball to start the second half. 2x2 receivers out to each side. Hinders and Davey to the left. Wegman to the right, and here's Jurovsky rolling right. Corner route, it's going to be broken up. Brandon Hartbarger out there at defensive back. He was looking for Eli Wegman, and it'll bring up a second down and 10.
Eli Wegman. Second down, Spartans.
A little bit late on the replay here. Clock will stop at 3 minutes and 3 seconds left in the second quarter. And Jurovsky is now 3 of 5 passing for 28 yards. averaging 9 1/3 yards per completion. 2nd down and 10. 2 wide receivers lined up to the right. That's Wegman and Davey. Pitch right, it's Lebo on the carry. Looks to turn it upfield. Gets across the 10-yard line.
Lebo, the ball carrier.
There to help make the stop for AP, Mason Kopp.
Gavin
Junior
Allen on
D
the
lineman
stop
number
for the
62. Gavin Allen there to help as well. And now it's 3rd down and a long 5. No doubt this is 4-down territory for Grundy Center with a 14-7 lead.
They're down at 6 for the
2:40
Spartans.
and ticking to go till halftime.
The ball is spotted at the 8-yard line.
As the sun has set and the lights beginning to take effect here for some Friday night football. Ball spotted down inside the 10, looks like about the 8-yard line. And Grundy Center continues to run the clock here as we get toward the tail end of the first half. A single receiver to each side, tight end of the formation. Jurovsky back to throw. Now rolls off to the left, being chased down. Now takes off upfield through traffic, and he's across the goal line for the Spartan score. Touchdown, Grundy Center. Judd Jurovsky.
Number 12, Judd Jurovsky on the keeper. In for the Spartans.
That's what he does as a dual threat. He can do it all, let me tell you that right now. And Grundy Center is back up by 2 scores at 20-7.
Jurovsky had one of those shorter kind of quarterbacks one-on-one with him, and the veteran quarterback makes one juke move. He's off to the end zone, and nice drive there by Grundy Center, just trying to settle down a little bit. I mean, you know, for Aplington-Parkersburg, they're only still down 2 scores. There's still plenty of game left, but that was kind of Grundy Center's first long drive of the night.
PAT is up and good, and with 2:07 to go in the first half,
and the kick
it's
is
Grundy
good.
Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg at 7. To go, second quarter. Grundy Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. 8-yard touchdown scamper by Judd Jurovsky. Took off to the left, shoot back to the right, made a couple guys miss, and lunged that ball across the plane for the score. So AP will have about 2 minutes here on this possession to try to score before the half ends. And Grundy Center is scheduled to receive the second half kickoff as well. So AP with a chance to run a 2-minute offense here, which is in complete contrast to what they'd been doing the entire game with that slow tempo offense. Jurovsky's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, and will kick it off from right to left down to the east end of Spartan Stadium. He's got the right arm in the air. Takes his approach. This one is a sidewinding kick. It is returnable by Shirk of AP back inside the 10-yard line. Takes off to the right. Bounces off of a would-be tackler and down to the 25-yard line.
On the return,
so 2:01 is how much time they will have to see if they can score before halftime. AP down 21-7 here to Grundy Center late in the second quarter.
Now they do have all 3 timeouts if they want to be a little bit aggressive here. Because like you said, Grundy Center will start the second half with the ball. But again, AP's had a couple of drives where they, you know, it's been the special teams miscues. I mean, that essentially led to 14 points for Grundy Center. One for sure with Eli Wegman, the recovery in the end zone. So when you think about that, it's a 1-score game, and special teams miscues
Grundy Center on a 39-game win streak. Looking to be in good shape here yet again this time around. Looking to make it 40. Waller back to throw here on 1st and 10. Loads up deep down the left side. One-on-one coverage, reaches up. Incomplete pass.
Waller's
looking for Shirk down the far side. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Good one-on-one coverage downfield by the defensive back of Grundy Center. So 1:55 to go here in the second quarter.
On the coverage for the
Spartans will be back in action next week at Columbus Catholic. 2 road games, 1 at home in non-district play for the Spartans. They'll be at Columbus and then at Dyke New Hartford in week 3. 2nd down and 10 Falcons at their own 25-yard line on the right hash. AP in the road white jerseys with red numbers in text, red pants, red helmets. with new styling this year, a black stripe down the middle of the helmets. Empty backfield for Waller in the shotgun. It's a designed QB run up the middle. Bounces off a defender. Ended up being a nice move. Gets across the 30 to the 31 before he's brought down. Cash Combs to make the stop, and a timeout has been called. Here with 1:43 to go in the first half, and the timeout is by Grundy Center, so that will stop the clock. Our Wiffles Hybrids halftime show is coming up in just a little bit on 99 The Wave. When you plant Wiffles, you're not just choosing superior seed corn. You're making a statement, one that says staying independent, family owned, means something on your farm. So make your choice, plant Wiffles Hybrids. So Grundy Center just burned their first timeout. They have 2 left. AP still has all 3. And it's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Falcons here. We'll need to move it to the 35-yard line in their own territory. And again, Mitch, AP went for a deep ball on the first snap of this drive. Was not able to connect. The throw was just a little bit long. It was good coverage on the sideline. But a few explosive plays for the Falcons tonight, both by Benny Waller. A 33-yard run and a 33-yard touchdown pass.
And he's been targeting Wes Shirk basically the whole game, too. And Shirk's showing a little bit of burst of speed out of that, kind of lining up in the slot more here tonight. But that's been his favorite target here thus far.
2 catches, 38 yards for Shirk, along with the touchdown. So here we go, 3rd down and 3. AP's got it at their own 33-yard line. One running back in the formation. Waller is back to throw. Dumps it off on a halfback screen. It's Mason Prusner, going to be shy of the sticks, only up by about a yard. And Grundy Center calls another timeout at 1:34. This will be an interesting call. And obviously they'll go to the sideline because of the timeouts, but you'd imagine that you typically try to punt it at this point, try to limit any potential damage. But again, with the AP special teams miscues, it's hard to say whether or not they're going to want to risk it here at this point.
Yeah,
2 bad punt snaps. They did have 1 good one.
Yeah.
But
do you risk going for the punt and then all of a sudden Grundy, on another bad snap, Grundy Center sets up inside the red zone? Do you try and go for it? I mean, at least you're out near the 35-yard line. A lot of decisions to be made here on 4th, and a long one essentially was what they're going to mark it. I think they just need to get just on the other side of the 35 there. I wouldn't be surprised if they just try to go for it, just considering those miscues are. Right. I mean, 2 of them in the first half.
So here we go. Timeout is over with, and the offense comes out to the field for AP on 4th and a long one. Need to get to the 35. They're right at about the 34. Just right of center between the hash marks. 4th down and 1. Waller under center. Hard count, maybe trying to draw him off. Now looks over to the sideline and goes back under center. Play clock at 5. And now we got a whistle. Looks like AP has called timeout. So you preach discipline on those kinds of plays defensively. You got to watch the ball, not listen. You got to watch instead of listen at that particular time. And that's what Grundy Center did, not being drawn off. And it looks like the offense is coming back out here for AP.
4 juniors along that starting defensive line, but guys that have gotten starts in the past, very disciplined there. And again, I don't think the punting team's out there, John. It looks like might be offense.
Hardbarger lines up to the left and Colcorf right.
Same formation they had before the timeout.
Waller under center. Here on 4th down and 1. Takes the snap, tries sneaking it. This is going to be close. Looks like he's right on the line. It'll depend on the spot.
If they just needed
Waller on the keeper.
It's right on the line to gain. They're going to have to measure this. And Pickna is getting heated on the sideline a little bit. What's the call? They're going to bring out the chains. Wallman, they're not bringing out the chains yet. They have not ruled one way or the other, and here comes the chain gang. The ball is placed right at the 35-yard line. So this is going to be crucial here. They got the N1 placed. Just enough. The nose of the football. Aplington-Parkersburg keeps the drive alive by an inch. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line in their own territory on the QB sneak by Benny Waller.
Remember, there is 2 timeouts. So, I mean, I think you want to see kind of how you do in these first couple of plays before you get real aggressive, take a shot downfield. They got the clock running because that was inbounds. No timeouts were taken. And
So
I think AP's just happy to maybe get to halftime just down 2 scores.
Down to a minute 18. Let's see how aggressive they get now at their own 35. Waller back to throw. Sets the feet. Loads up deep. Looking for Shirk yet again. He hauls it in. Down at the 25-yard line.
Waller's pass complete.
And now AP is in business here with a minute 8 seconds left in the first half. Wes Shirk yet again. They'll mark him down at the 27. Holy smokes. What a deep ball by Benny Waller.
Gain of 38. Wes Shirk.
First down Falcons.
You and I get the lineups. He wasn't listing the starter, but he might be down the road. He's really come up big for this AP offense, John.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line of Grundy Center. 50 seconds left in the first half. Waller in the shotgun. Takes off left on a QB draw. Runs into some traffic, looking for the sideline, trying to get out of bounds, and he does. So that'll stop the clock at 40 seconds.
Waller the ball carrier.
Now the question is where he went out of bounds. Ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. So only gained about a yard and a half on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 to the 26.
Well, that's one thing last year. You didn't see really Waller take deep shots, and tonight he's taken several. A couple of those are going for big games, all to the junior Wes Shirk.
All right, so certainly plenty of time here. AP does have 2 timeouts. There's 40 seconds and 26 yards out from a score. Hartbarger, the receiver, lined up to the right, and Shirk, the wide out to the left. Full house in the pistol. Sweep play left. It's Creighton Eberhardt, and that play is blown up in the backfield. Loss of a yard or 2, back to about maybe about 4 yards. Yeah, they're going to go behind the sticks. It's going to be 3rd and long now for the Falcons.
On the carry.
Clock will stop at 32 seconds, and it looks like a timeout has been called.
Jackson Huseman on the stop for the
who called timeout?
Aplington-Parkersburg might have.
They haven't put it up on the scoreboard. They never pointed which direction. So, but the clock is stopped at 32 seconds.
Because that was inbounds. You got a drive going. You still had 2 to use. Yeah, now I think they took one off. So now it should be 1 left for AP.
Yeah, there it is. So each team now with 1 timeout left. There's 32 seconds left in the first half. And with Grundy Center leading 21-7. But a big gainer from Benny Waller to Wes Shirk. Waller is now 4 for 7 passing for 77 yards. 19 yards per completion. That's not too bad. So timeout is over with. It'll be 3rd down and 11 from the 28-yard line of Grundy Center.
Wes Shirk, 25 yards per reception. Even better.
Yeah. Line to gains, the 17-yard line in the red zone of Spartan territory. 32 seconds left here until halftime. And in the shotgun is Waller with twin receivers each side. He's back to throw. Now the pocket closes. Pump fakes. The flag comes in. Waller takes off left, looking for the sideline, and gets hit out of bounds. Let's see what the flag is. In the area of holding, certainly. But if it is holding, they're probably going to decline the penalty to make it 4th down. Yeah, initial indication is holding, and yep, there's the call. So trying to get we're talking to Zajac, make sure they want to decline it for sure. Zajac is still talking to the referee here along the sideline. They're actually going to accept the penalty and make it 3rd down and very long. That's an interesting decision right there to make it 3rd and extremely long instead of it would have been 4th and long anyway, but they'll take the yardage rather than the down. So, oh, hold on a sec. Did they decide to decline it? They did decide to decline it now. So they did decline the penalty. It'll be 4th down and 11. And AP keeps the offense on the field with 24 seconds left here in the first half. Waller takes the shotgun snap, Rolls out to the right. Got space downfield. Throws a line drive just over top the intended receiver. His intended receiver slid down to his back and was just over top of him. Would have been a spectacular catch. And AP will end up turning it over on downs. They were looking for Hartbarger. And Grundy Center will take over with 18 seconds left at the 28-yard line in their own territory.
If Hartbarger doesn't slip, that's a first down there for Aplington-Parkersburg. Just, you know, you talk about some miscues here, but Grundy Center likely just to try and get to halftime. It's been a fairly bizarre first half, I'd say the least.
That's what you get in season openers, though,
yes.
Typically speaking. So 18 seconds left until halftime. Grundy Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. And looks like they're going to just take a knee here and send this to halftime. That is exactly what they do. And the clock will run off, and we will head to halftime. Grundy Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg 7 on 99 The Wave. We've reached halftime. It's Grundy Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg 7.
Grundy Center
John Mowinkle, Mitch Williams with you here. And Interesting
can
game to
go
say the
down
least,
to
Mitch.
the
You always
east
see
end of the
some
bleachers
goofy stuff going on in the
and
season opener, but
purchase football
special
cards,
teams kind of proven to be the
which
difference in this
also
game
include
so far.
the
We saw
entire
Grundy Center
cheerleading
convert
team.
on a
So head
high
down
punt
to
snap by
the
AP.
student section
Ended up
on
being
the
a
east
scoop and
end
score
of
by
the
Eli
bleachers.
Wegman to get the scoring underway. We saw Judd Jarofsky find Braden Davey on a nice out route to the left, or screen pass to the left side, and then Jarofsky ran in a score. AP's Benny Waller finds Wes Shirk for a 33-yard touchdown, but the margins are seemingly pretty thin here in this game right now.
You and I are talking off air. What happens if those two miscues don't have it on special teams, especially one where Eli Wigman does get that recovery in the end zone? Is it 14-7? You don't know. But remember, high school football, you don't get those preseason games to get these things ironed out. And we saw that early on. But at the same time, I also told you off air that Benny Waller looks really comfortable throwing the ball, especially deep. And you know, I've said Wes Shirk's name about 10 times in the first half, but for good reason. He's really exploded onto the scene, considering he wasn't listed as a starter, but it's week one. Things could change quickly. It might be starting in week two after this performance thus far.
And there were some question marks surrounding what AP was going to look like, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They've stuck to their roots, if you will, as far as the run game. 93 rushing yards for AP so far, led by Benny Waller, quarterback running 13 carries for 75 yards so far, good for 5.7 yards per carry. Mason Prusner, 5 carries for 14 yards. Waller passing is 4 for 8 for 77 yards and a touchdown. And the leading receiver is Wes Shirk with 3 catches for 76 yards and a score. Mason Prusner, 1 catch for 1 yard. So Grundy Center stats right now. Judd Jarofsky is 3 of 5 passing for a touchdown as well, 28 yards. And 25 rushing yards for Braden Davey to lead the way. Judd Jarofsky, 18 rushing yards on 4 carries. Lebo's the leading rusher, 7 carries for 38 yards. Spartans have 81 rushing yards, only 28 passing yards so far. And 3 different receivers have caught passes. Braden Davey, Eli Wegman, and Devin Hinders have each caught 1. Some other scores around the area. Dike-New Hartford leads Jessup 28-0 at halftime. South Hardin leads West Marshall 21-0 at halftime. And those are the only ones I have seen so far. Elsewhere in 1A District 3, that's Grundy Center's district. Clarion Goldfield Dow's is hosting at Belmont Clummy. Eagle Grove is at Lake Mills. South Hardin hosting West Marshall, and Garner Hayfield Ventura at West Hancock. And those are some of the other games going on of local interest. I'm going to take a timeout, and when we come back, I've got an interview lined up with Aplington-Parkersburg cross-country coach Jonna Junker. Got a chance to talk to her earlier today on 99 The Wave. I'm being joined. Earlier today, I got a chance to talk to Aplington-Parkersburg cross-country coach Jonna Junker. So here's that interview right now. I'm being joined on Radio on the Go Sports by Aplington-Parkersburg cross-country coach Jonna Junker. The season is underway, and Jonna, thanks for taking a little bit of time here. I want to talk about Thursday's meet over at Mains Grove here in just a sec, but season is back underway. What have you liked about this early portion of the season, getting back to the swing of things with the team and getting rolling with a new school year?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always great to get together and talk about AP cross country. Yeah, we've got a really dedicated group this year, a little bit larger group than we've grown a little bit from the past couple of years. So, they've just been working hard. We started the season off with early morning practices before school started, and they've just been really pushing each other and working hard and setting the tone for a strong season.
Yeah, and so big picture with this program, you're coming off a season last year where you had a state qualifier with Quinlan Schultz. Just what does that do for the future of the program, knowing that these student athletes have seen an example of what can be accomplished with hard work? Just what did that kind of mean for this team?
Yeah, I think they came in. They've got some goals. Some goals set. They, we had a group of them that got together over the summer and kind of did some running together, just kind of some senior led running. So it was good to see them get together. Even before the season started. I know they've got some goals. They are hoping to make it, make an appearance at Fort Dodge, both boys and girls. So, if they just keep plugging away and working hard, I think we can get there.
You bet. When it comes to results, you got your season underway on Thursday at a meet hosted by IFA EGWSR. On the boys' side, Trevin Thomas was the top finisher overall for the team, fourth place in 18:36. Emmerich Nolte, Owen Price up there as well. So when it comes to the boys' side, a little bit of a smaller roster on that side this year, but what are your thoughts on some of those results and, especially Trevin Thomas taking home that top 5 spot?
Yeah, it was exciting to see Trevin. Last year he was, just solely cross country, and then decided this year to dual sport. So obviously, our main goal for those dual sporters, which would be Trevin, Emmerich, and then actually Titan Verrett, is dual sporting this year as well, but just kind of tweaked his knee a little bit and practiced the night before, so didn't run last night, is to keep him healthy, both for cross country and football. So it's new for me. I haven't had any dual sporters yet for cross country. Obviously dealt a little bit with it last year in the track season, but yeah, we're just kind of trying to navigate as smoothly as we can, keeping them healthy, and with football and cross country, cross country, you can get out and you can run out on your own sometimes. So that's kind of what they've been doing, and they get to practice when they can. So Owen Price, freshman coming in, he's been a junior high runner for us the past 2 years, so running very well in practice, and it was good to see him get out last night, and I think he ended up 25th, I think. So excited for him. And then Jonah, obviously, he is, a seasoned cross country runner, did well last night for us as well. So, and then we've got Max Junker, who's joined the cross country team for the first time this year as a senior. So that group of boys are just going to continually get better, every meet. So yeah, we're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah, and then in the girls' race, Bella Bernard takes home a top 10 finish, placing 9th in her first ever high school cross country meet in a time of 22:20. And then he had a few others in that top 50 as well. Olivia Peterson, Violet Behrens, Lorna Bernard, just name a few, right?
Yeah.
Looks like quite a few on that team this year, but especially Bella Bernard, taking home that 9th place finish.
Yep. Emery Lorraine ran really well for us last night too. Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about, and especially the first 3 meets of the season, that you don't have to roster a varsity JV team, because Brady and I have been talking, like, at practice, it just varies on who's up front, and so it'll be nice these first 3 meets to kind of see who ends up taking those top 7 spots, because it can change from meet to meet. But they went out and ran well last night. A little bit warmer than what we anticipated the night being, but they did well, and especially for those freshmen, their first 5K race that they are used to running 1.5, 2 miles in junior high. So I think obviously that's a learning curve. We do it in practice, but it's different in competition. So and then we've got Charlie Endelman too, who's going to be up there. She hurt her toe over the weekend, so we're just kind of giving her a chance to get that healed up, so she's ready to go for us next week. So she'll be right up there too, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, and when it comes to some of these times that we've been seeing, especially from your top finishers here last night, Trevin Thomas 18:36 on the boys' side, Bella Bernard 22:20. Are those I guess how are those comparing to like this time last year? I know, probably a little bit cooler this week than it was,
Yep.
last week at this time. I think we had like 90s or something like that last year.
Oh, I know. Actually, this meet last year was canceled because of heat. So our first meet last year was Pine Lake, which it's hard to kind of compare Pine Lake with Mains Grove, just obviously very different course conditions. So, but Trevin's time was right around 18 something. Well, I think it might have been low 19s at Pine Lake last year. So, which with the hills you kind of expect. So I know he was pleased with his time, but not content. So I know he's gonna plug away and really get down there. But and then obviously Bella's time, we don't have it. We didn't have a 3.1 time on her with being in junior high. But their times are better than they were last year, which I'm super excited about. And I know they're going to continue to work hard and get them down even lower. So.
Yeah, exactly what you're looking for. When it comes to the upcoming schedule here, speaking of Pine Lake, that's up next for you guys here next Thursday night, it looks like. Then it looks like a whole another week between that and your next meet when you go to Union. So just want to get your thoughts on this early portion of the schedule, kind of easing into things here with a week between these meets.
Yep. Typically we had gone to Waverly and had a 2-week meet in the past, but we decided to get out of that one just to kind of get our kids a little bit of a break, and 2-week meets are hard. So we just plug away hard during the the beginning of the weeks, and we'll be ready for Pine Lake. We'll get a couple hill practices in early next week and be ready for Thursday. And then I would think we ran a conference meet at Union several years ago, but the Union course is fairly new to us, which it's a good course, nice and flat. So I know the kids are looking forward to get into that one. So, and then we'll be in the thick of it. So.
Yeah, and when it comes to just over these next couple weeks here, what are going to be some of the biggest goals or objectives for this team? Maybe some measuring sticks to kind of make sure you guys are on the right track. What kind of comes to mind here, especially early on in the season?
And even like I told them last night before the race starts, it's like I don't expect every meet to be perfect, because they're not going to be. You're going to have your days, and all I really ask is that they go out and compete, and that's all you can really ask for them, is to just fight till the end, and pick off a couple runners that, especially at the as you're getting closer to the finish line. And I know this group of kids are going to work hard, and you can tell in practice there's just that air of competition, actually, especially on the boys' side. It's good to have those boys. They're really pushing each other, and I mean the girls do too, but the boys just tend to have a little more competitiveness in them sometimes. So I'm really excited for the season. I think it's going to be a really good one for us. And I too just talked to them about it, how it's not all just about individual times. It's about scoring as a team, and each place counts, and so every person that you pass in the end is a better score for the team. So, and just go out and represent AP with pride. And
all right, and we'll certainly talk more here throughout the season, but any final thoughts you'd like to share at this time before we wrap up here today?
Nope, I think we covered it all.
All right, sounds good. AP cross country coach Jonna Junker joining me here on Radio On The Go Sports. Thanks for the time here today.
Thank you.
John Mowinkle, Mitch Williams back here at Spartan Stadium in Grundy Center, where it's 21-7. Grundy Center on top of Aplington-Parkersburg. Mitch, any thoughts on keys to the second half for each team?
I think for Grundy Center, it's, Judge Jarofsky has to settle down. His deepest pass he completed was just 13 yards. Otherwise, first pass of the season, we saw an interception. I think him getting comfortable, and Grundy Center showed some life in the second quarter in a way of stopping the run, but got to fix some of those holes in the secondary too, because it ain't a whole receiver group that's getting behind the secondary, but there's one in particular. Watch Wes Shirk, I guess, is kind of the motto of the defensive backfield for Aplington-Parkersburg. Can you get some of those long drawn-out drives and finish them with touchdowns? The first drive of the game, they got down about the Grundy Center 45 or so, and then obviously, they got to about midfield, I should say, anyway, and then the botched snap on the punt, and next thing you know, touchdown Grundy Center. So they really got to clean up their special teams. That's probably the biggest thing for Aplington-Parkersburg at halftime.
Another local score update in Class A action at halftime. It's Nashville Plainfield 36, AGWSR zip. Wiffles Hybrids was proud to sponsor tonight's halftime show. When it comes to selecting your seed corn partner, you've got a choice to make. At Wiffles Hybrids, they've made a choice to remain independent, farm family owned, and to stay American. So when it's time for you to make your choice, make a statement, plant Wiffles. And here's going to be a pooch kick. It's going to be scooped up by Grundy Center. There's a scramble for the football. Looked to have been Carson Lauby of the Spartans who got on top of it, caught him off guard. Now Grundy Center will have a rather short field to drive. They'll spot the ball at the 42-yard line in their own territory.
AP kind of ran out of its huddle there and just decided to kick it off, maybe to try to get a quick possession out of it, and almost worked, but now instead that's the risk you run. Grundy Center now has good field position.
From the 42-yard
so they'll start at their own 42-yard line. Ball is spotted in the middle of the field with Jarofsky in the shotgun. Two receivers to each side of the formation, and Wegman motions from left to right. Now strong side right. Hard count up front. Jarofsky looks both ways. Now takes the snap, handoff Lebo. Turns the feet. Gets pushed down after a short gain of about 2. Shirk in there to help make the stop along with Aiden Merrill. And Lebo gains about 2.5 yards to the 44-yard line.
You know, when we talked about Zinkula last year and how great he was as a runner that first half, Pete Lebo, as you said during the stats, just 38 yards, but again, didn't really see the ball till late in the first quarter.
Second down and 8 here for Grundy Center, just underway in the third quarter. They lead Aplington-Parkersburg 21-7. Here's a botched snap. Jarofsky able to pick up the ball out in the backfield. Pump fakes, takes off down the right side of the field, and is going to make something out of nothing here. Just shy of the sticks, it appears. Holy smokes. It was a botched snap. It was bouncing up high in the air, and Judd Jarofsky all of a sudden was able to gain yardage after the fact. Gains about 5 yards to about the 48-yard line in their own territory. Now it's going to be third down and very manageable. 3rd down and 4.
That's that experience. I mean, he's played in the Uni Dome 3 straight years, and don't panic, and sometimes you just throw the ball away and get a 3rd and long. Now it's 3rd and manageable.
A very mature play for the senior quarterback right there, and a clutch play at that as well. Wegman motions across the formation to make it 3 wide receivers out left. Another high snap, runs out to the left side, fires it downfield. That's going to be caught by Braden Davey at the 40-yard line. Shakes out of a tackle, still on his feet, and steps out of bounds at about the 35.
Pass complete.
Braden Davey with a catch on the near side of the field.
To number 3,
able to make
Braden
a man
Davey,
miss as
and
well.
that's good enough for a Spartan.
And Grundy Center picks up the 1st down. Braden Davey, you know he's got that state track caliber speed as well. 1st and 10, Grundy Center down to the 33-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg, trying to stretch this lead to 3 scores on this drive. Leading 21-7 right now as we're just underway in the 3rd quarter. 11:07 to go, and the clock is stopped. 2 receivers out to the right and a tight end in the formation as well. Lebo lined up, weak side left, gets the handoff, and is going to be stopped right after the ball was handed off. Gains a yard at best.
Lebo, the ball carrier.
Well, Mitch, ended up being a long play followed by a short play. In fact, they're going to call it no gain on the play, so 2nd down and 10.
Interior of that Aplington-Parkersburg D line doing a fairly good job. Pete Lebo really having to work for his yardage, just about under 4.5 yards a carry tonight.
So here we go, 2nd down and 10. Here with 10:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. Receiver motions left. Fake the handoff. Jarofsky rolls right. Fires down the middle. Just overshoots his intended receiver. That was Wegman.
Jarofsky's pass.
Nice play design that time around. Just a little bit over top of Wegman. And it'll bring up now a 3rd down and 10. Really the first 3rd and long of the game by Grundy Center so far. This is going to be one of their toughest conversions of the game. And checking the replay here. Just over top of his fingertips.
Let's see, Jarofsky missed too many of those. I mean, completing over 72% of your passes last year. Like that one back.
3rd down and 10, Grundy Center. Need to get it out to the 23-yard line in Aplington-Parkersburg territory. 2x2 receivers. Now movement up front. There was jumping. And it looks like it's going to be against Grundy Center. We'll get the call here, and it's going to be a false start on the Spartans. There was some movement up front. In fact, it looked like there was maybe some miscommunication of some sort because several guys jumped. It wasn't just one person that false started. It was quite a few of them. So it'll turn into 3rd and 15 back at the 39-yard line. And Zajac pacing the sideline in an unhappy stride. I guess that's the best way I could describe that.
Yes.
So 3rd down and 15 back at the 38. 2-by-2 receivers. The slot's offset off the line. Jurovsky going to take off upfield on a QB draw. Gets across the 30. Looks to be just shy of the sticks.
Jurovsky on the keeper.
The line to gain was the 23. Looks like he's down to about the 24. It'll depend on the spot where the knee was down. They're going to spot it just across the 25, so it's going to be 4th and short. And without question, Grundy Center in a situation to go for it here. So 9:49 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And here we go. They break the huddle. 4th down and 1 for the Spartans. See if they try to draw AP offside here. They are doing a hard count. Jurovsky barking out signals. Here's the snap. He keeps it after faking the handoff. He's got the 1st down and a little bit more. Out to the 20-yard line, and the Spartans are down into the red zone.
Judge Jurovsky, the ball carrier.
Just what they needed that time. Didn't need a whole lot. Jurovsky did what he needed to do. And a good cadence that time around. You can tell he was barking out those signals.
Kind of that read thing with Lebo, yeah. You got to count for them both. Lebo is a veteran tailback.
So now on the verge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Here with 9:10 to go in quarter number 3. Grundy Center 21, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. Week 1 action at Spartan Stadium. And now 2 tight ends in the formation and 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Lebo lines up strong side right. He receives the handoff. Inside zone, up the middle. Struck down from behind after a gain of about 4. Gavin Allen at defensive tackle there to make the stop for AP.
Grundy Center starting to do what we are accustomed to, kind of these long drawn-out drives, a good mix of run and pass. He and Jurovsky get involved in the run game as well, and you know, it's kind of last year too. If it was a close game at halftime, Grundy Center really knowing how to wear teams out with all their experience and all their weapons, and approaching a 4-minute drive here already in this 3rd quarter.
2nd down and 5 down at the 15-yard line of Aplington-Parkersburg, and Davey motions out to the right side of the formation. Now 2 receivers out right and a tight end left. Lebo at halfback on the strong side right. He receives the handoff. Wide open hole once again. Takes off left. Stiff arms a man, and that's a Grundy Center touchdown.
Number 11, Pete Lebo into
Devin
the Spartans.
Eberhardt received a hand to the face. What a stiff arm by Pete Lebo. And Grundy Center extends the lead to 3 scores at 27-7.
They overload that right side, and the run is on the weak side here.
What a stiff arm. Just above the face mask. Textbook stiff arm. And here comes Aiden Betts out to attempt the PAT. Here with 8:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Judge Jurovsky, the holder as well. Snap, spot, kick. Operation looks slightly out of sync, but it is good. 8:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. 5 to go here in quarter number 3. Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. 15-yard touchdown run by Pete Lebo, including a devastating stiff arm to polish it off. So the Spartans did exactly what they were looking to do on the first drive of the second half, and Aplington-Parkersburg, well, let's see if Grundy maybe returns the favor of that to a surprise onside kick. I don't know. Probably not at this point. It's a 3-score lead. No reason to do that at this point, but you never know. That's why they call him surprise onside.
I was going to say, Coach Zajac still pacing that sideline. He's still not thrilled with some of the things that have gone down. That was just their first penalty on that last drive of the game, but almost ended up costing him. But Judge Jarofsky showed off his leg, showed off his arm, and Pete Lebo capped it off.
Here's the run-up, and the ball is in the air. A high end-over-end kickoff, got about to the level of the lights. Returnable for AP inside the 10-yard line. Wes Shirk takes off and down to about the 25. That's where he's chopped down.
Wes Shirk on the return.
So 8 minutes exactly to go here in the third quarter. Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7.
For the Spartans.
And AP will go back to work offensively, where the name of the game so far is drives stalling out and some miscues really halting
from the 25-yard line.
So they'll start at their own 25-yard line. They've not had really any good starting field position throughout the game at all either. So they'll break the huddle here on 1st and 10 as the sky has darkened. Lights have taken full effect here at Spartan Stadium. Pistol full house formation here for Waller, with a running back and 2 wingbacks lined up behind the line. 2 wide receivers, 1 at each side. Waller on a QB draw, takes off right. Lowers the shoulders, lunges across the 30. And gains at least 6 yards on the play. Ryder Slifer in there to help make the stop. There were several maroon jerseys, and they'll spot the ball at the 31. Picks up 6. So another nice carry by Benny Waller. Puts him up to 81 yards on 14 carries. Good for 5.7 yards per carry. Second down at 5 Falcons. Another pistol full house formation. Same formation as the last time. And fakes the handoff and does hand it off on a sweep left to Prusner. And he gets popped after a short gain to about the 33-yard line in their own territory. Well, actually spotted at the 34. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. So the playbook is wide open now for the Falcons on this upcoming down. And here comes that Spartan drum line. So they break the huddle with Kalkwarf, the single wide out left, and Hartbarger, the single wide out right. Now Waller lines up under center. Hard count. Grundy showing blitz. Waller tries to push the pile. Appears to have a 1st down across the 35-yard line to about the 36.
Benny Waller on the keeper.
Chains. Benny Waller picks up 2 when he needed 1.
Down.
That's kind of the story of the first couple of drives for Aplington-Parkersburg, just keeping drives alive, chewing clock. Now we're in the second half, down 3 scores. Eventually we're going to see Waller have to take some deep shots like he was successful in some of the first half.
Just about halfway through the third quarter, 6:22 and ticking. And Shirk lines up as the wide out left, and Hartbarger as the wide out to the right side. Back to the pistol full house formation. And Eberhardt motions left and lines up at tight end. Here's a counter play. Left side Prusner gets not even to the line of scrimmage, and he is pushed back.
Mason Prusner.
No gain at best, but possibly a loss on the play.
Number 24, Hayden Curtis on the stop for the Spartans.
Right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Prusner, the leader, coming back in that backfield, really having a tough time tonight. Just 16 yards on 7 carries. It's been basically the legs of Waller and the arm of Waller and the receiving hands of Shirk tonight.
Yeah. Devin Eberhardt and Creighton Eberhardt not really gotten too involved much in the run game either. Somewhat surprising based on their production last year. 2nd and 10, another designed run for Waller, and this one gets bottled up right away. A couple yards at best for Waller, so 3rd down and long coming up. And Grundy Center is starting to key in on the fact that that Benny Waller is kind of their main man here tonight for AP. And the ground and through the air. So 3rd down and 8 coming up. Waller did gain 2 to increase his rushing total to 85. So 3rd down and 8 at their own 37-yard line. The line to gain is the AP 46. 28-7 Grundy Center, 4:43 to go in the third quarter. And a 3rd down and long for the Falcons. Grundy's linebackers switch sides. Waller to pass. Good protection. Now takes off to the left. He's going to run with it. Juke to the right. He's going to be brought down shy of the sticks by a few yards. And decision time for Aplington-Parkersburg.
The ball carrier.
You probably want to go for it here. You
Lebo
haven't really been able to stop
Spartans.
Grundy too much, aside from that one interception back in the first half. 4th down and 1, and the AP offense will stay out there. Hartbarger comes back in off the sideline.
4th down Falcons.
Benny Waller gets the play call as well. In comes Braden Kalkorf. And the QB sneak has been effective.
In the I formation, yeah, because you got 2 guys behind you that can do essentially what they call the old tush push. So
they will line up in the pistol formation with a single setback and 2 wide receivers each side. Now we got a whistle, and a timeout has been called by AP. So you burn a timeout in the 3rd quarter, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. You know, Mitch, it's sometimes it's necessary to take some of those timeouts, but the bad news for the Falcons now, they're only going to have 2 down the stretch in the 4th quarter. It's always kind of a quandary how you handle the timeouts, that clock management piece of it, a whole bunch of different philosophies on how you handle that. But regardless, now AP only has 2 timeouts left for the rest of the game.
I'm wondering if Coach Peckman didn't like that. I'm surprised it came out of pistol formation, kind of spread out when that I formation, QB sneak out of the I formation has worked for him on these 4th and shorts. So maybe he didn't like that pistol look, and Grundy Center maybe was ready for a run at the middle. Like you said, an early timeout when you're down 3 scores. And yeah, the offense will stay out there. I mean, there's several things in play here, one of which is 4th and short, but 2, again, I go back to that first half. I said it several times, but special teams miscues could easily set up with Grundy Center a short field again.
So 4th down and 1, here comes the crowd. They will keep it in the pistol formation, a single receiver each side. Handoff up the middle, inside zone, looks to be just enough. Forward progress looked to have been enough for a 1st down to the 46-yard line in AP territory. And they spot the ball just across the 46, and the white hat points west, signaling 1st down Aplington-Parkersburg. Just enough on that one, and AP moves the sticks. Another clutch 4th down conversion.
Yeah, when you're in the pistol, you give the defense an extra yard or 2 to attack it, but like you said, just enough. Needed the 46 and got the 46 1/4.
Ball spotted on the left hash mark. Pistol full house with a single receiver each side. Heavy wingback formation. Inside zone, up the middle, out to the Grundy Center logo midfield. And this will be a gain of 4. Mason Prusner emerges from the pile.
Mason Prusner,
so he's starting to get a few more carries as we go along in the 2nd half.
Number 24, Hayden Gertis on the
and
tackle
AP
for the
continuing
Spartans,
to run a lot of clock. We're down to
Lebo.
2:50 and ticking in the 3rd quarter. Next week here on 99 The Wave, AP will host Dyke New Hartford in one of Iowa's all-time great high school football rivalries. 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock, opening kickoff.
They got a trophy for that rivalry yet? A lot of these other ones do, John.
There's no trophy currently for that particular rivalry, believe it or not. 2nd down and 6. Ball spotted right at the 50. Waller back to the shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers out left and right. Waller back to throw here on 2nd down. Dumps it off left and finds Prusner on the short screen. Lowers the shoulders and gets driven back across the 50. Forward progress should give him in the vicinity of the 47-yard line of Grundy Center.
Number 0, Mason Prusner.
And they're going to give him forward progress at the 46.
On the tackle for the Spartans.
So 3rd down and about 2.5, we'll call it, coming up for AP. Line to gain is the 43 in Grundy territory. So again, 4 down territory certainly. However, don't really want the pressure of having to convert a 4th down. You might as well just try to get it here. It's 4th or 3rd and short enough anyway. Under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Waller lines up in the shotgun with a wing back left and Prusner behind him. Takes off to the right, rolling out, turns the corner. He's got the 1st down to the 45-yard line, still on his feet at the 40 to the 35 and out of bounds. Heck of a run by Benny Waller. He was looking downfield. Went to pump fake and turned and ran with it and converts for a AP 1st down. Out to the 30 3-yard line. Nice carry that time by Waller, moving the sticks into Grundy Center territory.
Just took him over the century mark, and again, it's the decision he's making tonight. You know, a lot of growth from last year. He's not forcing any throws, and got a little burst of speed too out of the pocket.
Without question, 1st and 10 AP, down to the 33-yard line of Grundy. Pistol full house formation with Eberhardt and Eberhardt on each side of Waller. Prusner receives notes at QB keeper. Waller keeps it, read option, up the middle, he's gone. Oh no, the ball gets fumbled out the back of the end zone, and that is going to be a touchback. Holy cow. The ball got swatted away from behind, and Grundy Center will take over at the 20-yard line. It was Judd Jarofsky forcing the fumble. That man does it all. So the fumbled ball bounced out the back of the end zone, and now the officials are getting together. Clearly the ruling on this is touchback, Grundy Center possession. So, yeah, there's the call. I don't know why that took so long to call that. But a huge defensive play, and Grundy Center creates a turnover with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the third quarter.
You know, that's a 7-minute drive, John, and again, it ends in a miscue. Looked like Waller had the touchdown. He gets inside the 5, and it's stripped away. And like you said, though, Jarofsky just does a little bit of everything, and that's kind of probably the straw that broke the camel's back if you were going to try and get back in it. Because, again, 7-minute drive and no points and a turnover.
The fact that he was able to pursue the runner, and then while he was trying to bring him down, he came and windmilled the arm forward and jarred the ball free. So 1st and 10 Grundy Center at their own 20-yard line with 1 minute 12 seconds left, third quarter. They still lead it 28-7 over AP. Jarofsky, swing pass left, finds Davey. Cuts back to the right, takes it upfield across the 30-yard line. Good enough for a first down.
To number 3, Braden Davey.
It's about 13 yards with 1 minute left in the third quarter. Spartans by 3 scores.
Really like Davey in those swing passes where you get a quick screen out to the outside and he cuts up middle. Second time we've seen that tonight.
So the 33-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Ball spotted on the left hash mark. The fact that AP has been able to come out and perform to this level is pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. You know, coming out against the reigning defending 3-time state champions. And a short run here, piled upon by a couple different Falcon defenders. Hayden Gertis gets his first carry of the game. Aiden Merrill there to help make the stop for AP, and that run gains about 3. Out to the 37-yard line in their own territory. And 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Looks like the Spartans will be content to run out the rest of the period and send this one to the fourth. Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. The fourth quarter is next on 99 The Way. into the fourth quarter. It's Grundy Center 28, Aplington-Parkersburg 7, and the Spartans have it 2nd down and 6 at their own 38-yard line. Judd Jarofsky out to lead the team at QB here. 2 receivers out to the right, and he takes off right. Loads up and fires downfield. Wide open. Devin Henders caught at the 30-yard line, spins around, and he's going to be, he shuts out of a tackle. Down inside the 5, pushed out. Did he break the plane? Yes, he did.
Jarofsky's pass complete to number 10, Devin Henders for the
62 yards out, and the Spartans extend the lead to 4 scores.
Well, you just wondered when Jarofsky would take a deep shot, and there's nothing better when a wide open 6'3" receiver gets open on basically a go route down the right sideline, and yeah, 63-yard touchdown reception there for Henders.
So PAT pending here from Aiden Betts. Here with 12 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. High snap to get the spot down, and the end over and kick is up and good. 11:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. Yards on the catch and run by Devin Henders from Judd Jarofsky. And with 11:48 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. John Mowinkle, Mitch Williams, and Mitch. The Spartans finally put together a huge explosive play, their longest of the game by far.
Yeah, the longest play was a Braden Davey jet sweep, and so yeah, going over the top, and like I said, when your 6'3" receiver's wide open, that gives you a little bit even more room for error, and Jarofsky finds his senior wide receiver down the right sideline for an easy 6.
He shedded a tackle of Brandon Harbarger as well. Wasn't quite able to wrap up. And Jarofsky kicks it off deep, sidewinding and angling left. They'll let it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And that was set up as well by what appeared to be a Benny Waller touchdown run from deep. Judd Jarofsky himself forced a fumble that bounced out the back of the end zone for a touchback, and that is what set up that particular score. So points off turnovers for Grundy Center, winning this game in the margins to go up by 4 scores.
Yeah, Jarofsky started that defensively and finished it off offensively. Like I said, he just does a little bit of everything. He's got a good arm. Henders did have to wait there for a little bit. Wasn't quite in stride, but again, it's still week 1. They'll get her ironed out.
Without question, they'll be at Columbus Catholic next Friday night for week 2. 7 p.m. kickoff. 1st and 10 AP at their own 20. Handoff right. And this play goes pretty much nowhere. Devin Eberhardt gets the carry. One of few carries in the game. That was just his 4th carry of the night, and they'll rule it in about 2 yards to make it 2nd and 8. Well, Mitch, I would say it's probably fair to reason that Grundy Center is back to their true form, if you will, after, both teams kind of feel each other out throughout the first half. You always see that kind of thing in week 1, but without question, this is a team that looks like it's going to be a dome contender yet again. This play gets busted and goes nowhere. 3rd down and long coming up for AP on the short run. They'll call it no gain on the play. And that was Creighton Eberhardt getting the carry that side. All right, so a substitution comes off the sideline for Grundy. Riggs Yoder, a sophomore D lineman, coming in.
Number 70, Chevy Richardson.
Newcomer into the AP lineup as well. Wes Shirk comes in off the sideline. Harbarger runs to the left side, lining up as the wideout. And a pistol formation here for Waller. Drops back to throw. Swings it right over top of Eberhardt, the intended receiver, to bring up 4th down and 8. Eberhardt running an out route to the far sideline, and really no chance on that one. So here comes the punt unit for AP. And again, this has been a little bit of a bugaboo for AP with this special teams unit right now. The first 2 punt snaps of the game, the first one was super high, and the next one was low to the ground.
Almost wondered if you would bring in a guy that would just line up in shotgun, do a pooch punt, because the snaps offensively have been fine. Since long snaps on special teams have not been the best for AP.
And number 51 is not on the roster. A little bit of a high snap. Grundy got a good rush. It's a high kick, angles right, bounces to the sideline and out of bounds at the 46. So Grundy will start this drive in plus territory with 10:20 to go in the 4th quarter. They lead at 35-7 and a chance to put the running clock rule in effect if they score and tack on the PAT.
Ladies and
here.
gentlemen, we'd like to take a moment and say a big shout out to our Spartan cheerleaders.
Oh yes, cannot forget about the cheerleaders.
Hayden Cooper, Cameron Thomas Henley, Riley Whitehill.
Falcons will have the home opener at Ed Thomas Field next Friday night against Dyke New Hartford. Right here on 99 The Wave. Always electric when those two teams get together.
1st and 10 Spartans from the 46-yard line.
We're all over Jessup. It was 28-0 at halftime. Jessup, a member of AP's district as well. So Grundy takes over at the 46-yard line of AP. Wegman motions to the right side of the formation, and 2 receivers each side. Gertis gets the handoff, turns the legs, tugged down just shy of the 40-yard line. And 5 to 6 yards on that gain for the Spartans on the ground with Gertis. Might as well get him some spell carries in the game as well. Give Pete Lebo a little bit of a breather. Doing great work on both sides of the ball here throughout the night as well.
Say Drofsky's still in the game. Usually Zajac pulls him once that running clock goes. I know that was the case last year.
2nd down 5. At the 41-yard line of AP. 2 receivers left. Wegman motions. And they're chewing clock here as well, waiting to snap it. Play clock down to 4. Bad snap. Jarofsky scoops it up. Now back behind the 50 at the 45. He pump fakes. Takes off to the right. Evades a tackle and just throws it away out of bounds. A heads-up play. Even when things go bad, Judd Jarofsky is able to make it not as bad as it could be, if you will. Let's say that. Yeah, checking the replay. Back at the 45, pump fakes, draws some of the defenders off, and had enough space to just throw it away out of bounds. He was definitely out of the pocket. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
It's that mindset. He's been in this system for so long. He's, this senior class, when they were freshmen, that was their first of 3 straight state titles. They're not used to losing the game, so yeah, they've been part of a lot of wins.
So 3rd down and 5. 2 receivers each side. Gertis is the halfback. Jarofsky rolls right, pump fakes, looking downfield. Still, now he's going to be, he almost evaded a sack, but he's brought down. Gavin Allen there to help bring him down. So was Mason Kopp back there to help make the tackle. And Jarofsky sacked for the first time in the game. It'll bring up a 4th down now for Grundy Center. 4th down and about 9. Yeah, 67. Allen there to make the first contact. Mason Kopp in there to sling him down as well. So 4th down. I'll spot the ball at the 46-yard line in AP territory. And for the first time, the punt unit comes out here for Grundy Center. And Jarofsky is the punter. Again, he does it all. So AP will put their return man back at about the 10-yard line. And this will be Wes Shirk. Now Jarofsky, a pooch kick to the right side. The kick angles to the right, lands inside the 10, bouncing down to the 5, and they're going to down it at the 1. Beautifully executed punt. Jarofsky took off to the right. And that thing was deadened down to the 1-yard line. So 99 yards for AP to drive. Backed up all the way under their own goalpost. Here with 8:56 to go in the 4th quarter. 35-7, Grundy Center has the lead.
You talk about Jarofsky being a defensive back, good quarterback, but he averaged over 40 yards a punt during his junior year as well. Has his hands in all of it.
Yeah, literally. Also being a placeholder. To go along with the responsibilities. Oh, they're going to rule it a touchback, actually.
No.
There must have been.
The whistle, what happened, I thought I heard a whistle, and I heard someone in the press box, too. Someone, I think he must have thought the ball was trailing out of bounds and must have blew the whistle because he thought it was out of bounds in the air. And then he was standing about the 20 to 25 yard line. And it never went out of bounds, though, because it was down at the 5 with a few yards away from being out of bounds. So
right.
I think it might have been a little miscue on the Stripes' part. Remember, it's week 1.
Yeah.
They, too, have to get stuff ironed out and all that.
So here's an interesting discussion point. So on punts, so let's see what the ref has to say here. Well, he doesn't have a mic. He's not mic'd up or anything. So on punts, when the ball goes out of bounds on a punt, it's not about where it lands on the ground. It's where it crosses the sideline while it's in the air.
Well, now they are going to take him back down there. Okay.
Interesting.
Because
it's where it, so
I'd like
if it
to take a moment
crosses,
and say hello to our Spartan
if it were
drum
like
line,
curl
as well
out
as
of
our
bounds
Spartan
then back
chain gang.
in, that's an interesting discussion right there. So they're going to rule it down at the. It's still not back at the 1 where it was originally down, so I'm not totally sure.
I think they're right, the 10.
But why would it be the 10, though?
Yeah. Maybe the halfway point of where the ball actually ended up and where they whistled it out of bounds.
Let's just split the difference.
There you go.
Even though that's definitely not how you're supposed to handle that, but.
Show me the code of Iowa high school football rules on that one. Split the difference.
That is interesting, though. So apparently one of the officials on the sideline thought that the ball went out of bounds over top of him.
Yep.
And because of that,
And it really
just
was
when you think you've
unfortunate.
seen it all, I'm going to have to dive into the rule book tonight on that one. So AP will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. 8:56 to go in the 4th quarter. Pistol full house formation, a motion man left. Waller fakes the handoff, hit immediately and dragged down. So it'll be 2nd down and long coming up for AP.
Waller on the keeper.
A peculiar turn of events, to say the least.
Chevy Richardson
Chevy
for the
Richardson.
Spartans.
He is a fan favorite, let me tell you that right now. Chevy Richardson, number 70. So AP will have 2nd down and 10. They'll call it no gain on the play. Down to 8.5 to go in the 4th quarter.
6 foot 300. If I got tackled by that, I don't know if I'd get up for a while.
Waller takes the snap and a handoff up the middle. Decent yardage this time around. Mason Prusner slung down.
Mason
Hook there to
Prusner,
help make the
ball
stop.
carrier.
Just
Number
shy of the
14,
20-yard
Hook on the
line. They'll
stop for
spot
the
the ball at the
Spartans.
18. So 3rd and manageable here for AP. Will be 3rd down and about 2. Mitch, it's again, this game has been decided in the margins, and AP's offense has, despite having 7 points on the board, the fact that they've been able to move the ball the way they have against this Grundy defense has been somewhat impressive. Handoff right on a counter. Looks to be
Waller
enough
on the
for
carry.
1st down yardage. Actually, no, that was a keeper, Benny Waller. After faking
Brought
the
down by
handoff.
number 21, Cooper
And
Keller.
it'll be 1st down.
For
Cooper
the
Keller there to
Spartans.
make the stop. Down to 7:32 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
Stay
they're
tuned for the Dale Howard Overdrive coming up later on tonight here on 99 The Wave, as well as 104.9 KLMJ. We'll have bonus coverage of Hampton, Dumont, Callan, Osage when we're done here. 1st and 10 Falcons at their own 22. Pistol full house, high snap. Handoff Prusner. Slides the hips through some contacts.
Prusner the ball carrier.
Crosses the 25. And another short gain for the Falcons.
Brought down by number
Short
51,
gain, though a
Reed Bacon.
decent gain. Gains just over 4 yards. If you gain 4 yards on each play, well, you'll be in good shape. Kalkorff comes back in off the sideline. And he relays in the play call. Grundy Center making some defensive substitutions as we get deeper and deeper into this 4th quarter as well, down to 6.5 minutes. And AP is definitely not pushing the ball down the field. They are still taking their time. Creighton Eberhardt motions right and lines up at tight end. And a fake handoff. Benny Waller takes it on a read option left. Lowers the shoulders and trucks a man. Now cuts it to the right at the 50. He's got a couple guys to beat. And he's going to be brought down across the 40-yard line. Heck of a run by Benny Waller. He trucked Braden Davey and put him in the ground.
Man, just another long run for Waller, and just bounces outside and, man, eludes a tackle. And sometimes the camera guy, it's supposed to be me, doesn't get it in time.
That's all right. We're learning on the fly here as well. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And Grundy Center, AP moves it out to the Grundy Center 37-yard line. Ball spotted right hash. They break the huddle.
Gain of 37 there for Waller.
Pistol full house. Prusner takes it up the middle. Through traffic, lowers the shoulder, bounces off a defender across the 30 to the 25-yard line and down to about the 24. It's 37 to the 22. Gains about 15 yards, and now a timeout has been called by Grundy Center with 5 minutes and 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Spartans lead at 35-7, and let's take the timeout as well here on 99 The Wave. .36 to go in the fourth quarter. Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 7. And the Falcons have moved the ball down to the 22-yard line of Grundy Center. Looking to see if they can punch in one more score before this one is over. But Grundy Center will win their 40th consecutive game, dating back to the start of 2022. So here we go, 5:36 to go fourth quarter. And pistol full house. Waller takes off right, jukes to the left, still on his feet, lowers the shoulders. The ball gets jarred free. AP is able to recover it.
Waller the ball carrier.
So it'll be second down and manageable for AP. Waller had that jarred free at the very end of the play. And after all that, it only ends up gaining about 3 yards. Luckily for the Falcons, one of the O-linemen was able to plop on top of it. The next snap will come with under 5 minutes left. You know, I imagine the philosophy here on this drive is, you know, not to necessarily try to push it downfield, just see what kind of plays you can run. I mean, you know, the result of the game at this point is decided. Might as well see if you can sustain a drive, run some chunk plays, put another in the barn, rather than, you know, taking risks and throwing it deep. Pistol full house. Waller hands off Devin Eberhardt up the middle, bounces off a tackler, and he's down across the 15-yard line, just shy of the 10. Carrier. And so AP is on the doorstep now. Hayden Hook helps make the stop. Down to 4.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And I keep saying it, but this game, the difference in this game has been the margins. The fact that AP has been able to move the ball in this fashion has to give the Falcons hope for the future for the rest of this season. Pistol full house. Waller hands off left. This is Prusner. Lowers the shoulders down inside the 10 across the 5. Clock down under 4 minutes to go fourth quarter.
Hayden Gertis on the stop for the Spartans.
So Hayden Gertis makes the stop for Grundy Center. It's second down and 3. Down to the 4-yard line. AP's first score was on a deep ball. 33 yards on a pass from Waller to Shirk. All the way back in the first half. On the verge of putting together an impressive drive here to score late. Play clock down to 5. Waller under center. Handoff, Prusner lowers the shoulders, takes it into the house, and the Falcons have scored yet again. Touchdown Aplington-Parkersburg. Mason Prusner, a 4-yard run.
And it was all runs there. It wasn't like they were, trying to play
Right.
catch up. It's like just try to get something positive going into next week. And again, they showed the running ability, over 250 yards now on the night, averaging over 5.5 yards a carry against what's usually a very stout Grundy Center defense. It took a lot of time on that, but again, it's a small victories. You're playing the reigning state 1A champs, and 14 points. Grundy Center didn't allow double-digit scores all too often last year.
Carter Wayne, the PAT, goes off the backside of the defensive or the offensive line, and it's 35-13. And let's take a timeout. 3:17 to go in the fourth quarter here on 99 The Wave. And 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It is Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 13. A short run by Mason Prusner. And the Falcons scored for the second time in the game. Deep kickoff, end over end. This will sail into the end zone for a touchback. So Grundy will take over at their own 20-yard line with 3:17 to go. And let's see what the philosophy is here. Judd Jarofsky is coming back over to the sideline, so it looks like they will put some substitutions in the game to finish this thing off and win game number 40 in a row to move to 1-0 on the season.
1st and 10 Spartans from the 20-yard line.
Let's see who comes in to play QB here. And they break the huddle. Trying to get a number here. I think it's Lake Schrage. That's number 9. Yes, that is Schrage. 2 receivers to the right and 1 left. And a hard count. 4 down linemen, 4 AP. And this play gets absolutely busted. Schrage faked the handoff, then took off left. Was able to hold on to the ball, but AP
on the keeper
got the surge. And the next snap will come with under 3 minutes. They can run this down to about 2:30 before they have to snap it again.
Colbin Hoppenworth on the stop.
Colbin Hoppenworth, one of the AP reserves in there to make the stop. Down to 2:45 and ticking, and again, no reason to rush anything here. Just run the clock down, snap it as late as you can, and get out of here unscathed. 3 receivers right. Schrage rolls out, pump fakes, fires downfield. A little bit of a low throw. Ethan Meester lunged down, almost caught it. It was in his hands, but couldn't hang on.
Schrage's pass incomplete.
And it'll be 3rd down and long. Clock stops now at 2:27. Well, this is a good portion of the reason that Grundy Center's been able to kind of sustain the success. They get these guys these reps, in almost every game for the last several years.
So say Judd Jarofsky as a freshman sophomore back in 22 and 23, probably a lot of reps much the fourth quarter. Again, they get that running clock rule going, and they get a lot of these subs in.
Britt Meyer has come in. Carson Lauby in at a receiver as well. Looks like Ross Lynch. Schrage rolls out right. Man, this guy's got some speed. Throws downfield, and it's going to be picked off by AP. Picked off by Brandon Hartbarger, and the Falcons will take over.
Schrage's pass intercepted.
So, I mean, at this point it is garbage time. However, I mean, a little bit of a spark of confidence there, certainly for Hartbarger and this Falcon team.
That was Brandon Hartberger again.
Yeah, number 6.
That's 2 INTs for him tonight.
All right. So AP takes over after the takeaway. They're at the 28-yard line in Grundy territory. Do they keep the starters in? Yeah, Waller is back out there. And Creighton Eberhard is in the game. Mason Prusner. Kalkorf lines up left at the wide receiver spot. And Hartbarger the wide out right. And they run pistol full house here again. Handoff Prusner, inside zone, covers the ball with 2 hands, lowers the shoulders through defenders, still on his feet. The pile continues. The white jerseys were pushing him from behind.
Prusner
Down inside the 20-yard line. Heck of a run for Prusner. That was a team run, I would say, after all that. Let's check the replay.
Cooper Keller and Eli Wegman on the stop for the Spartans.
That first contact, he just kept moving and moving and moving. Teammates were pushing him from behind.
Say the first 7 yards were all him, the last about 6, giving assist to some of those linemen that got upfield. If you're Coach Zajac, you just want to get a stop here. I mean, if you give up 21 points, they don't do that too often either, even when they got the reserves in.
High snap, Waller catches it with one hand and runs forward, slides the hips just shy of the 10. That was kind of nifty there, reaching up and catching the snap with one hand. Down to 1:34 to go. Well, Mitch, week 1 just about in the books. And I think both of these teams definitely have the potential to take another step forward.
Charlie Reinert.
I mean, if you're Grundy Center, you can't really take a step forward. You just maintain, I guess. That's kind of the goal.
There you go.
Handoff Prusner, counter right, spins down inside the 10 to about the 8. 1 minute to go. But imagine AP wants another score here. They got 57 seconds. And they shift some guys in and out of the lineup.
Prusner the ball carrier.
Aiden Merrill.
Brought down by number 71, Charlie Reinart.
And Kalkorf lines up outside the numbers on the left side. And Hartbarger inside the numbers on the right side. Ball spotted left hash, 34 seconds. And now in the pistol formation, pistol ace formation. Waller to pass, rolls right. Good blocking, fires it over the middle. That's intercepted by Grundy Center. Intercepted by the Spartans. Couldn't see exactly who that was. Might have been Hinders.
Waller's pass intercepted by number
right
21,
at the goal
Cooper
line. It
Keller
was Cooper
for the
Keller
Spartans.
for the INT. So the teams trade picks here down the stretch. With 20 seconds left, Grundy Center has a chance to, well, I don't know if you can take a knee back here, because otherwise it would be a safety. The ball is spotted at like the 2. So they're going to have to get some kind of forward surge to avoid the safety. Though at this point, even you could just give up a safety. Like, it wouldn't even matter. I don't know. But then you'd have to punt it away. So let's see what they do here. 1st and 10 at about the 2-yard line in their own territory. And they get Jarofsky back out there. And he is going to take it forward. Yeah, they did determine that they were too far back to take a knee. So just surge forward, run out the rest of the clock, and that is the game. Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 13. Post-game coverage is next. Grundy Center 35, Aplington-Parkersburg 13 is the final score. John Moenkel, Mitch Williams with you here. Week 1 is in the books. And Mitch, Grundy Center extends their win streak to 40 in a row, dating back to the start of the 2022 season. And yeah, I mean, Spartans certainly have some work cut out for them, but the fact that they were able to really win this game in the margins, I would say, you know, they take a AAP touchdown off the board by forcing a fumble. You know, they're able to have a scoop and score on special teams to go up. I mean, that's a 14-point swing right there. So Grundy Center takes a very disciplined approach to win in the margins, and that's what they did here tonight.
Yeah, and you can't have miscues when you're playing Grundy Center. And you alluded to a couple of miscues that Aplington-Parkersburg have. Of course, the first punt they had went to the end zone, touchdown Grundy Center. Next punt they had, attempted anyway, I should say, was low that time and kept Grundy Center out of the end zone. But still, you know, there's things to obviously clean up for Aplington-Parkersburg. But again, you run for over 250 yards against, you know, last year's Class 1A champ. You feel pretty good. Benny Waller showed his arm strength. He showed his legs too, but at the end, Judge Jarofsky is the veteran quarterback for Grundy Center. He just does a little bit of everything, chasing down what would have been touchdown for Benny Waller there in the second half. He strips him right before the goal line, and obviously offensively he throws the ball very well, had a couple of nice passes, and even the one punt he had was much better even when they further than they spotted it. So, you know, there's things to clean up on both sides. It's week 1. And also, it's a rivalry, so sometimes you just kind of throw the records out, which there's no record going into week 1, but still, it's a rivalry. A lot of different things can happen.
And again, you'd mentioned it, but Judge Jarofsky doing it all, able to bounce back from, you know, an early mistake, throws an interception on his first pass of the game, ends up 6 of 10 passing, so 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. So a third of his completions ended up being scores, and then running the ball 40 yards on 9 carries for him. And then, of course, that great defensive play. That I think really was a key play of the game, I think, because that really kind of helped slam the door in favor of Grundy Center when Judge Jarofsky was able to force the fumble of Benny Waller while Waller appeared to be on his way in to score. So again, a guy that does it all, and a guy that is going to give this team a chance every single play, every single game, I would say.
Yeah, he had a great night running and throwing the ball. I mean, he didn't have an interception until their last play of the game, essentially. So, you know, like I said, much improved from last year and a different type of offense. They threw a lot of different offensive looks, too, from kind of that full house diamond look to I formation, things like that. So, lots to build on, I think, from tonight. You know, they got to feel very good in how the offensive line was able to block there. Got some holes running offensively. Like I said, you know, Waller approaching near 200 yards rushing on the night, so you don't always get that with your quarterback.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. I'm going to track down an interview, and then we'll continue post-game coverage in just a moment.